Is this so many spaces in a bingo card? Five? That's really fucking. This is massive, dude. Holy fuck. Free space is what? Yo, what up, dude? That's fucking flashbanging. Holy fuck. Alright. What's a free space? What are they for sure doing? Act 4. Gotta be Act 4. Act 4 is for sure. Guaranteed. Not seen the leaks. I did see some of them. But I know they were incomplete. I'm gonna say Marauder. I thought from the leaks Druid's like dead or whatever. I mean, we'll throw Druid in there. I'd love to believe. Fuck it. Druid. Okay, what else? Delve? Please delve. Sell my soul for delve. Shadow? We're gonna do Shadow, and then these are the three. Okay, these are the three classes. Why is Druid the only one that's capital? Oh god, this is gonna drive me insane. Yeah, Druid's not gonna be in, unfortunately. They confirmed that. The leak showed Shadow Templar. Okay, fucking K Daily. I guess we're doing Shadow Templar. This is what we're going with. The Druid's dead. Let's see if the leaks are real. I'll challenge the leaks. I'll be the contrarian, as everyone from my BF6 video knows me to be. Okay, what else? Delve, please. I will fucking I know, Rip Druid. Okay, Delve. Dude, holy fuck, we have to fill this whole thing out. Crafting bench. Let's. Right? Maybe what if we believe? No shot that's gonna be in here, but I would love to see a fucking crafting bench. You know what I am, cute girl. Hello, hello. What else is gonna remove? What else are they fixing? Oh, LS dead. I know. It's so good to see everyone again. Probably have something to fucking dude. I feel like I've been waiting forever for fucking PoE 2. Like holy shit, it's been an eternity. Speed up, warrior speed up. Let's just do warrior speed. Maybe we'll do mace speed. Actually, warrior tree. Not your dog shit, and then we'll have to really squinch this one down. I'll keep it nice and generic too. That way I can make this whatever I want it to be. Right? The more generic the interpretation is, the more likely it is that we can just check it dishonestly. The plan. You know, it's hype. Let's do like new skills. I wonder if that's gonna be into the game. I wonder if they're adding new skills. They fucking better not. So we'll do new skills, not with the class, not with class weapon. So this will be like they go back and add something to wand or like some shit like that, or like elemental. Yeah, last patch was rough. Okay, axes. What's up? Does it count? Is that kind of cheap? I feel like that's cheap as fuck. Because, like, this is axes, daggers, maces. Does it really count? I don't think we can do that. Oh, I'd sell my soul for fucking Delve, dude. What else? Dude, they're probably gonna introduce, like... They've got to do something with crafting, right? Yeah, exactly. Weapons are paired with classes, so it's like, if you do axes and Marauder are like the same thing. So new skills that are not related to these guys. I lasted a month. It was just too much suffering last patch. Yeah, it was more socketables, free space. Well, I went with Act 4 because isn't Act 4 guaranteed? I feel like I've seen like 5 Twitter posts about Act 4 being guaranteed. Which is that was my free space. I don't want to do new support gems because that was in the leak. We did new skill gems. What else? Act 5? You want to throw that bad boy in there? Alright, fuck it, dude. We'll throw in Act 5. Yeah, we have legendary support gems now. That's actually going to be hype. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, new pinnacle is actually a fucking killer one. Maybe a tower. Let's throw in a tower rework for the 15th time. Right? You know? Power rework, and we'll put LOL in all caps. So we all know it's ironic because they're going to do it again. Ooh, Atlas. Atlas rework. Scarabs is a good one too. Yeah, checkpoints. Yes. Yeah, we need more checkpoints. Let's do movement skills actually. These will be separate from I know they're doing something with movement this patch. Yeah, travel skills, movement skills. 18 more uniques, yeah. Oh, dude, a trade system? Yeah, trade house. You guys imagine how fucking good this game would be if there was just like I was talking to some friends of mine about this like a couple of days ago. Like, dude, if you just like, dude, fuck the website, just do a trade house. Like, you would just solve so many things. I know it will never happen. I don't know why. I was talking about this because I used to be in the camp. I used to be one of those people that like, no, you should have to trade in person because it's like a social thing. But the reality of it is, it's not even like fucking social anymore. Like, everyone just, it's all like everything that trade was supposed to be. All of the iterations and improvements to it have undermined the entire purpose behind it, right? Like, the whole idea behind having to trade in person was that there was some sort of a social kind of interaction there, but then every single thing that was made to improve it was to undermine the social interaction part, right? Like, we made it so you have to automate your trade message. Now it's you can set negotiable or exact price. It highlights it in your stat. Like, it's just, what's the point even more? Or what's the point anymore? Like, we've done everything in our power to automate it from what it was in the beginning. You might as well just make it a trade house, and then that way you can get rid of price fixers, and then you can post a bunch of stuff, and then you can wake up and it's all sold. Like, dude, just, it's time, you know? We're trade house is going on every single fucking bingo card till we add it in. I love that. I'm going to trade, people are messaging me left and right. Hell yeah. That's actually crazy. I can't believe, like, dude, Prada is still going hard. Prada's 2,500 hours. Like, holy fuck. What a madman. Let's do Ritualist. No, they're probably not gonna. Oh, hold on. Yeah, 0 deaths. More generic? You think? Alright, we'll go more generic. Wait, revamp, let's see what they do. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, dude, just do it. Just, no one cares. Chonk rework. Give me a Chonk rework. So we thought about doing Weapons Master, but because you have Marauder, Shadow, and Templar, and all classes are, like, associated with one another, or are associated with, the things or whatever. Like, Marauder will be associated with axes, Shadow will be daggers, Templar will be maces. Armor rework. I feel like they're not gonna rework armor. I'm still in the camp that armor isn't that bad. I think people bug out over armor a lot, but I think the actual damage that you're dying to is elemental damage. I think fizz damage is like a meme. I think you have zero. I like nuisances. You just have zero elemental defense. All you get is your fucking all you get is your res cap. That's it. And like if you look on the screen, like if you ever go back and watch some of your deaths, which I have done, there's like 9,000 spells and there's like one minion hitting you with a bow or something. Which is the same thing in PoE 1, by the way. Okay, we got new ascendancies. I like that. We have a chonk rework. Dude, how about a buff to Witch Hunter? Ooh, a death strat screen? They'll never fucking do that. That would be gangster, though. I'd love a death strat. Oh, fuck. Or a death stat screen. Dude, what is... It can't be destroyed. There we go. I like Witch Hunter buffs, because that's where I will probably be starting, unless we get, like, a bunch of tight shit. I like, let's do Wisp rework, and what was the other dog shit mechanic that they added? They added something else that fucking sucked my dick off. Oh, Wisp strong boxes. There we go. Buff / rework. I will do anything. We'll just say improvements of any kind. Just please make these less shitty. Oh yeah, they're doing the... I think a currency rework, huh? Strong boxes are okay. The problem is they're just really infrequent. Like when I did my like, dude, I have the data for it. Let's hit the numbers, you guys. Okay, that's not it. I think it's actually in my... Hold on, where's my... I have data on how dog shit strong boxes were. This is also incomplete. All right, the data's gone, so just get rid of it. Still deal with it, I guess. Where the fuck is it at, dude? One of these has to be it. I found it. Yeah, like this is the number of exalts from Strongbox. Like Strongboxes were like there were 50 there were 1 exalt per map. This is with all Strongbox nodes. Mind you, it's only a 50 map test, but I mean it's not nothing. Shit, we gotta hurry up. With Strongbox improvement. Okay, what else? Ready for disappointment? Stop. All right, we have Atlas Tree rework. Let's say like buffs to old uniques, buffs to uniques. I think it's gonna be oh, that's actually a good one too. Let's do Deadeye or just Ranger nerf. It's got to be a Ranger nerf angle. Ranger nerfs across the board, dude. Come on, get them out. We have LS nerfs. I don't know if that'll be in the patch. Stygian belts. We could do Abyss. You thinking Abyss, huh? Abyss is a good one. What else? Gloomy still ripping PoE 1. Hell yeah. Yeah, spell skill buffs. Honestly, spell skill buffs would be nice. We got new ascendancies. I don't think there's gonna be fuck, because we're not getting patch notes. Whatever, we're this far. Let's do this one. Wait, with that one, let's do oh, new trial's a good one. New trial of ascendancy. Let's just do defense buffs across the board, because it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and said, all right, now we can like fuck around with this for a little bit. We should get rid of. Jonathan blames player. That's a good one. We just don't know what we're talking about. It's actually our fault. Damn it. Yeah, I think, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Like, there's got to be defense buff somewhere. Absolutely. All right. Grimfeast coming back after rewrite. Grimfeast is dead, dude. ES is dead. ES is actually still probably gonna be just fine. Life on tree. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like defensive buffs, armor buffs, life on tree, or just like in general any sort of yeah, the announcement's like right now. Any sort of improvement to like defensive options as opposed to the ye old classic of none that we have right now. Find this. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games, and welcome to GGG Live.
GGG Live. Wait, we need the chat.
Exclusive reveal of what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream.
Oh fuck! Isn't it like theater mode?
Sun Priest's incineration rare finisher effect by following the
We're
instructions below. Now with that out of the way, let's get started. It's time to give you a teaser of what's coming in Path of Exile 2, the Third Edict.
Rack your weights, dude. Fuck that. There's no rack for him. How's the volume now?
You here to save our people.
I mean, I'll up this shit out of this bitch.
Way. Over the ages, we have known pain like no other, but we endured, and we became mighty.
Oh, there's got to be marauders. This is so maraudery. I'm feeling a marauder here.
Now, outsiders dishonor our shores, and we have stood by, doing nothing. Hear my voice, ancestors. Show us your strength. Show us the true
I'm on a
way.
boat, motherfucker. That's an axe he's holding right there. This is obviously axes marauders in. I'm checking it on the card right now. It's obviously marauder. Okay, never mind. They show him it. It's an interesting play to start with shit we've already seen from the character perspective. Yep, yeah, the monk does do that. Yep, he also does that too. Oh my god. The new bosses look sick though, I'm not gonna lie. Those thunder, I don't know actually.
Will rise.
Okay, we got Act 4, we all knew that was coming. No one knows what that is. Support gem overhaul. Dang. Ooh, a passive sprinting, new trade system. Okay, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. There you go. Dude, it's not that big, you guys. Seriously. All right. Okay, so we got Act 4. I didn't read anything else.
Now, as you can see, there's a lot going on, and we have a lot to reveal today.
Yes,
We'll start
we do.
by going over Act 4, the next chapter in the Path of Exile 2 storyline. But that's not all.
Crafting changes.
There's also
so we put
3
that in
new
there.
interlude acts to get you to endgame, which means we're removing cruel difficulty too. After that, we'll be going through the massive changes to characters.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm super excited to show you how I've overhauled the entire support gem system, added new skills, and yes, there are buffs. Next, we'll go over the Rise of the Abyssal, this season's exclusive league mechanic, and talk about the new rewards, crafting systems, areas, and bosses that it adds.
What up, Shady?
After that, it's on to changes we're making to the endgame.
Good to see you, man.
Then it's time to talk about items, crafting, and oh yeah, trade. That's going to be a big one. We'll then
Buy
go
items
over
when
our new
sellers are
supporter
offline?
packs and finish
Oh
up with a
my
live
God.
Q&A session where
What?
ZD will ask Path of Exile 2
Holy!
myself and Mark your
Dude, they
questions
did
from
it.
Twitch chat. And after
I don't
that,
know if
at
that's
4 p.m.
Abyss. Yeah,
Pacific,
I was thinking
patch
maybe
notes.
Abyss too. It looks
They're not quite
Abyssy.
complete, but they
Like
should
this
give you some
this
nice
guy right
details to
here.
chew on.
This looks like fucking dude.
We've got a lot to
Oh
cover
my
today,
God, they
but
did the
first,
trade
another
thing.
announcement.
Holy
When the
fuck.
third edict launches on the 29th, we'll be having a free weekend for Path
Everyone
of Exile
already
2.
knows this. We already saw
That's
the leak.
right.
Shut
Path of
up,
Exile 2 will be
Jonathan.
free for the first time without requiring an early access key.
Yeah, we all know
The free
that.
weekend will end on September the 1st.
You're desperate.
so
We
you'll
get
have
it.
plenty of time to give the game a try. All right, let's get started with Act 4. The story continues from the end of Act 3. Doryani has agreed to help you
They don't
find
even
an
remember
ancient
what the
weapon that can be
story
used
is.
against corruption, the instrument of the Third Edict. The weapon was broken in ages past, but he believes that the pieces may be found in the Karui archipelago, the home of the Karui tribes.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I
You
can't
will
wait
need
to
to
see the
journey
trade
to
thing.
Kingsmarch, hire a ship, and set sail.
Hell yeah.
When you open the map, you can choose to sail anywhere you like. Act 4 is completely non-linear, and you can visit the islands in any order you choose. Will you visit the pristine beaches of Whakapanu Island?
Fuck a pot.
The Karui whisper of
Oh,
a curse
come on,
that
dude. Who
afflicts
came
all
up
who
with that
travel
one,
there.
dude?
Perhaps it's related to the weapon you seek.
Really?
Or maybe you will visit the volcanic shores of the Isle of Kin. The Kin have been more restless recently, mining for sulfite and driven
That
by some
looks sick.
dark force.
That looks cool. I don't know what that is. That looks tight. Did I say new
Perhaps you will
skills?
choose to consult with one of the local Karui tribes.
I did say new skills.
Their
We have to
ancient
make sure
wisdom
there's
could hold
new
clues to finding the
ascendancies.
Third Edict. No matter where you choose to go, you will fight dangerous beasts, find fabulous treasures,
Yeah, no shit.
and battle incredible bosses.
A challenger! Come, Yama sees your
Oh, it's
soul.
dude Black Myth Wukong. That's sick.
There are 8 islands to discover, each teeming with its own flora and fauna. Act 4 contains over 100 new monster types, 16 new areas, 12 new bosses,
No one
and
cares.
plenty of other interesting encounters.
Yeah. No, I'm
There's
sure.
a huge
What-
amount to show.
Where's the new
but We're not going to
class?
spoil too much here.
Where's
we
the
want
new
to give you a
new
chance to
weapons
discover
and
it all for
ascendancies?
yourself.
Okay, that's
What
what we
happens
want.
after Act 4? Well, until now you had to repeat the entire campaign again before you could face the endgame. But after adding Act 4, the game is far too long to make you do that. We needed something else to do in between the end of Act 4 and the endgame.
That's actually why I'm
So
surprised
what
they
else
added
could we
Act
do?
4. I thought they
Add
were going
3
to
new
stick us
mini
with
acts,
3
of
acts
course,
forever.
and we're calling them the interludes. The interludes are a set of 3 temporary side stories that will be included in the game until Act 5 is released. That will take you to level 65 where the endgame can
Yeah,
begin.
you're going to find amazing treasures. Shit that you've already found
The
before,
first
like 300
interlude sends
times.
you on a journey back to Ogham. Renly has been leading the efforts to rebuild Ogham Village after the defeat of Count Geonor, but there's a new danger afoot. The nearby town of Holton
No, it
is
doesn't.
surrounded by an impenetrable darkness.
Yeah, you're good.
And each night their corrupted
would never,
town
I
folk emerge
understand.
to raid the local
I
farmlands.
understand that we all have to be inactive for a time being.
You'll
Let me
discover
tell you
new
what.
areas
Me trying to figure out what the fuck to scream, but everything
and
fucking
new
is
bosses.
just sad.
You'll need to find your way through the darkness, uncover the source of corruption,
Soon you will serve our master.
and defeat it.
Yes, I shall dance with their corpse.
And that's just the
That's
first
me in
interlude.
doubles. I'm the clown.
The
He's just
second
sitting in the
interlude will
back
have
telling
you
me what to
return
do.
to the Vesteri
Okay.
Desert, where Asala has been given a sacred duty. When the skies align, the gifting of water requires a chosen Sekima to meet with the Selkari, guardians of the sacred water. But they're
No,
nowhere to be
no
found.
one likes the desert. I hate
You will
this
need to
place.
track down the Selkari. Find those responsible for disrupting the gifting. Fight even more new bosses. Discover the secrets of the ancient ritual. Discover new locations.
That looks sick. What was that? Was that Molten Str...
And
Was that
ultimately help Asala
Tectonic
carry out this
Cataclysm?
sacred
Or whatever
duty.
the fuck? Tectonic Slam of
Now for
sinking?
interlude 3.
Whatever the fuck it was called.
As royal thaumaturge of the Val, Doryani had plans within plans to save his people from the cataclysm perpetuated by Atzeri's lust for power. One such plan involved sealing a group of willing Val deep in a great mountain vault near the home of the Asmeri, deep enough to survive the cataclysm.
They had to be a little bit shorter because
Even though thousands of years have passed,
it was 6
he
acts in
believes that their
total, and now it's
descendants may
4
still
and 3
live,
of these.
and may be
oh, wait.
key to defeating
yeah,
the
yeah.
beast.
So there's seven total iterations.
journey up
so
the
these will
mountain
have
will be
to,
dangerous.
I assume, be somewhat shorter
New
than the
foes
acts.
stand in your way.
I do like all
And
the
further
boss
up the mountain
missions,
you
though. That
venture,
is
the
sick.
colder
I
it will
like
become.
the boss fights. This is just leaning into Dark Souls. It's alright. I think
Explore
all the meaningful
caves of
combat
ice
should just come from the bosses, and that's probably
and
okay.
enter the vault itself. Who can say what you will find within? The interludes are 6 to 7 areas
Yeah, he
each
looks like a
and
huge
generally
pussy.
include 4 boss fights as well. When you
Like
put that
Yoriani,
together
we
with
need you
Act
to hit
4,
the
that
fucking
adds up
iron,
to
bro.
35 new areas
You
in the
stop
campaign
putting shit in your
and
fucking
24
ears
new
and your
bosses.
nose and whatever the fuck else, piercing dumb shit
It's
you guys
worth making
do.
clear that the interludes
You need to
are
hit the weights.
temporary. When Act 5 and 6 are added, the interludes will be going away. These are side stories after all, but don't worry, the bosses and areas that make up the interlude are all part of the endgame. We're not just going to throw them away. And with that, we don't need cruel difficulty anymore. We do know that it was a pretty big chore to have to play through the campaign multiple times on each character.
It really
And
wasn't.
this was a huge reason that the campaign could feel like a bit of a slog when playing through again.
It really wasn't that bad.
But we do also have another new feature to address that particular concern as well.
They better not go the Diablo route.
So
dude.
let's
I'll
talk
freak the
about
fuck out.
sprinting.
Oh boy.
In 030, when you hold down the dodge roll button, your character will go into a sprint after they finish the roll. This is available on all character classes, and there's no limitation on how long you can sprint for.
Okay, that's kind of
The
nice.
primary purpose of this feature is to make navigating areas faster when
Okay,
out of
this
combat.
is chill.
Because of that, if you do take a hit while sprinting, you'll fall to the ground. The best idea is to use a skill when you see monsters. That'll break you out of the sprint so you can engage with no danger. If you do need to run away from monsters, just hold spacebar. You won't be vulnerable during the roll, and you're faster while sprinting than basically any monster in the game, allowing you to retreat from combat. Sprint is a pretty significant change to PoE 2's gameplay. What I like most about it is that we can accelerate the pace of the game for those who want that, without having to compromise on PoE 2's more visceral combat systems. Okay, so that's the new extensions to the campaign, but there's a whole giant league to play through as well.
How to scoot.
I'll leave that to Mark to talk about later.
The issue
And
I
that's
have
because
with,
what I want to
with
talk
doing the
about now is
campaign
the new
is like the
stuff for your
campaign was
characters.
of all the problems in
And
the
probably
game.
one of the biggest new
like, yeah,
systems here
Cruel
is
wasn't
with the
great.
support gems.
Cruel wasn't great, but like
Now, support gems are one of the most interesting elements to creating a build. They
I
will
think it was
enable
not that
so many
important.
interesting mechanics and different ways to play. But PoE 2's support gem
supports,
system has
yes.
just never been quite right. One of the major issues is the limitation of only having one support gem of each type on your character.
yes,
We
that
didn't
was
want builds
super
to just
dog shit.
become using the same 5 most powerful
Elemental
supports
Storm?
in every skill. The problem with this design, though, is
Yeah.
that it's actually working against using multiple skills in your build.
He's
If
actually
you
a
can only
cowboy.
use each
He's a
support gem
rancher.
on one skill, it means that you're encouraged to go all in on that one ability. And we want to encourage you to combo your abilities, something needed to change. So with that in mind, we've removed the restriction of having one of each support gem per character.
Yes.
You can now use as
Big
many
dub.
copies as you like.
That is good. That is a good change.
This should
I needed it
drastically
fucking
increase the
happen
amount of
forever
possible
ago.
builds and increase the amount of skill diversity. There are a lot of potential builds that suffered from the previous restriction. For example, a poison build previously couldn't add poison to more than one skill. They couldn't use stacking poison on more than one skill either. This severely limited your ability to combo with anything outside of the specifically designed poison archetype, but now you can. Many utility skills previously couldn't scale to endgame, because the supports that would make them scale were more useful to use on other skills. You would never speed up killing Palm with martial tempo, when you would much rather use it on your primary skill instead.
This is
There
all
are
true.
more examples like this all over the place.
This is an excellent point. Well done, Jonathan.
In addition to that, though,
Guys, it's
we
your
thought there
guys'
wasn't enough
fault.
feeling of progression in the
By the
supports
way.
as you went through the game. There were only 3 tiers of supports, and many of the most important ones were given out at Tier 1. Also, there were no strict upgrades, meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required quite a lot of thinking. In order to solve these issues, we now
don't want you
also
to
have
think.
multiple levels of many supports as you go through the game. For example, double barrel support gives you an extra bolt, but at the cost of 30% less reload speed. At Tier 2, the penalty gets lowered to 20%. But then at Tier 3, the support gem gets something new. It now reloads automatically when you heavy stun an enemy. In some cases, the highest tiers might work a little differently, and you'll have to decide if you like the upgrade or not, depending on your build. For example, rapid casting. The first couple of levels gives 15, then 20%
Oh, it's
increased
like,
cast
what's the
speed.
difference?
But then at Tier 3, it changes to a new approach. For each different spell you cast in the last 8 seconds, you get 10% increased cast speed, which could be a pretty big bonus if you use a lot of different spells. So that's pretty good for upgrades through the campaign. But
Yeah,
we wanted to
that's
add a
not
little
bad.
more spice to the endgame for supports too. And that's where our new system, Lineage Supports, comes in. You can think of these like unique items, but for supports. There are supports that are only available at endgame, but they're much more powerful. Like Ratha's Assault. It's an
This one looks
upgraded
sick.
version of double barrel that
I have
reloads
a,
your skills
I have
and dodge
a
roll,
crossbow
as
build
well
in my
as
head.
increasing the number of bolts it can hold.
If there's
But it
no
does
new
mean that's
classes,
the
we're
only
ripping
way you
Witch
can
Hunter.
reload the skill now. Now, unlike regular supports, you can't
Unless
find
these
these through the
classes are
uncut
lame as
support
fuck.
gem. Just like unique items, many of these can be found from specific bosses. And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too. Some of them are fairly rare,
Oh, that's a good one.
others fairly common. Some of them are build defining. Others are just straight up power upgrades.
That's sick. Okay. All right.
All in all, there's around 40 lineage supports
That
being
was-
added throughout the
okay.
endgame. So there's a lot of power
Alright.
to find out there.
No, that's gangster. That's a
Now,
good change.
The new support gems are certainly going to open up a lot of builds, but of course we have a huge range of improvements to individual character classes as well. As well as adding new skills, we had a big focus on buffing existing skills so that they can scale well into the endgame. There's a
Yeah, we'll
huge
have
amount
to
to cover
see.
here, so we're not going to discuss everything. We're just going to quick fire through some of the coolest changes. We wanted to make cold a more useful element on the Ranger, so we've expanded the cold tools available.
Well,
As
it's
well
pretty
as
Ranger
increasing its
nerf.
range, Escape Shot now creates fragments of ice whenever it hits the ground.
Oh, that's dog shit.
These fragments
Absolutely
explode
trash.
after a short time, making the skill better for killing groups of enemies. But not only that, we added an ice fragment support that creates more of them when killing frozen enemies. And a new buff skill called Ice Tipped Arrows that allows all your arrows to create ice fragments.
That's kind of cool.
This already gives clear to rangers wanting to use ice. But to take further advantage of the ice fragments, Freezing Salvo has been upgraded to shoot additional cold arrows towards every fragment,
Yep.
giving you a
All
nuke-like
blade
ability.
skills are trash. Preach, my king.
We've also modified Snipe to consume frozen from enemies, dealing a huge amount more damage, giving you
No
a
one
nice
cares about
ice single
fucking
target
Snipe.
option. And something you might notice about this is that the bonus is a lot higher against bosses. This is actually a change you'll see throughout the entire game.
Oh my!
Since it's a lot harder to freeze a boss, you should get a bigger reward for it.
What the fuck?
Another theme you'll see throughout the game is making movement feel better. Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had. Now Toxic Growth is a range skill, so you can spam it more easily.
Yeah, thank God. Why the
And we've
fuck?
also added a new poison skill while we were at it, called
Oh,
Toxic Domain.
New skill, got
It
it.
creates a
I'm
small
in.
area around you that makes all your attacks create toxic growth pustules, but attached to monsters.
That's not related to a new class. We did it.
Another skill that was annoying to use was Electrocuting Arrow. It's now just a regular arrow, making it easier to use. But it also means you can support it with projectile supports. And it now also has Area of Effect, making it a tool for more than just single target, and allowing it to scale into the endgame. We also added a new spirit reservation called Mirage Archer.
Oh, nice.
This is a meta skill
Yeah.
that allows you to
Okay,
create
never mind. We're
shadowy
buffing
clones of
Ranger. I
yourself
thought they were
to
nerfing
use
it.
a
We
skill of
love
your
Ranger.
choice.
It's literally Path of Ranger.
Of course, one of the other big problems the Ranger had was survivability.
No, they
Evasion
didn't.
was the weakest of the three defenses, and we wanted to change that.
Wrong. Get it
Currently,
out.
Evasion doesn't evade all types of hits in the
Let
game,
them die like
so you're still
dogs.
vulnerable to things like slams or unblockable attacks. To make evasion characters more tanky, we're adding a new mechanic called Deflect.
They don't need more tankiness. They need to be nerfed
Unlike
to the
evasion,
ground.
Deflect works on everything, and if you successfully deflect a hit, you take 40% less damage. Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of
What
deflection
the
based on your evasion.
fuck?
And there's a bunch of it available on the passive
Okay.
tree too. Deflection is rolled in addition to evasion, so this is an upgrade for regular hits too. And unlike evasion, there's no maximum chance. You
Okay,
can
I
reach
got that with
100%
defensive
deflect against
upgrades.
all
I just
hits
didn't think
if you
that would
spec
be
into it
to,
enough.
I didn't think
Of
it would be
course,
to
this is a
fucking
buff that helps
Ranger.
all dex characters, so the mercenary and the monk, but especially the huntress, are seeing big defense boosts from this as well.
No one gives a fuck about those two dumbass
Speaking of defensive
classes.
mechanics, let's talk about block and parry.
No, no one cares
Now,
about
one
parry.
of the big concerns on the release of the huntress was parry feeling unreliable.
And worthless
One of
as
the big
fuck.
reasons for this is there's a lot of hits that are not blockable, and thus not parryable either. So a huge balance change we're making is that now everything is blockable, except for specifically unblockable red flash skills that bosses use.
Oh, that's actually kind of OP. That's actually retarded.
This makes parry much more reliable. And not only
That's
that,
actually
but to make
insane.
block and
Okay.
parry nicer to use, you now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to passive block as well. So to counter that, we did have to lower the max passive block a bit, but overall you should feel much safer.
Defensive buffs, dude. I got it. I knew they were doing it.
Fire skills on the warrior were not really cutting the mustard, so we decided we needed to upgrade a bunch of them, but also add some more as well. Let's start with a buff. Volcanic Fissure now
Okay,
branches into
volcanic
multiple
fissure
fissures,
looks fucking
giving it much more
sick,
clearing potential.
dude. I want to go volcanic fissure.
We've also added a new skill called Forge Hammer. This skill throws a molten hammer that does a slam at a distance. You can recall
that's
the hammer
sick
back
as
by using the skill
fuck.
again if you like. But
Oh
the
my
cooler
god,
thing to do is
dude,
to use a
Warrior got
war cry
some
near it.
beast shit.
Using a war cry makes the hammer explode, making a bunch of volcanic fishes around. Volcanic fishes
dude,
re-trigger
fuck
when you
me.
slam them.
Oh god.
So it's a great
Fuck
skill to
me,
make a
Jesus.
flaming arena to fight a boss.
I want to use all of these. Oh my god, this league's about to be
We also
hype.
buff Perfect Strike to have a much larger area of effect,
No one cares about perfect fucking strike.
and changed Molten Blast to not always force you to move forward. Trust me, it feels a lot better to use now. The skill now has massively boosted chance to ignite monsters as well. And you're going to want to ignite monsters due to a new glory skill called Ancestral Cry. Ancestral Cry charges up with glory by igniting monsters
Yeah,
and
true.
invoking
How will
King
you not
Kaon's
walk
favor.
around with fucking
After you do,
auto attack?
use it to channel Kaon's
cultist
ancestral
hammer.
power. Every attack will be ancestrally boosted with fire. Your very steps will explode, triggering volcanic fishes, and molten balls will erupt from your attacks.
This is gangster.
Warrior shield skills were another area we wanted to improve. Now that we've got sprint, we actually don't need to have a cooldown on shield charge anymore. It now also does more damage the further away you are when you use it. Shield wall got significantly upgraded AoE. Also, you can shield charge right through it to trigger all the walls.
Okay, that looks terrible.
We also added a new shield war cry.
I know. It actually
Fortifying
sucks
Cry
after
gives you a
work when this
defensive
drops.
buff, but it also builds up charge on your shield that empowers your other shield skills. And Magma Barrier now doesn't require timing in order to use. Just wait for your shield to charge up and block. Seismic Cry now stuns enemies that are primed for stun.
Goodbye, Master. PR guy. Appreciate you.
And we changed the Sunder interaction with Armor Break. It now also gives a Sundered Armor debuff that makes enemies take 40% extra physical damage.
Oh my god.
Great for bosses. Ancestral Warrior Totem has undergone some pretty significant changes too. We wanted the skill to feel more like using an ultimate. That summoning an ancestor to fight for you was a big deal. So we've changed this totem to require 3 endurance charges to summon, and massively buffed its damage. It also now scales your weapon damage too. Since there's no limit anymore, if you build around generating endurance charges, you can summon an entire forest of totems.
Nice, yeah, totem build. Fuck yeah, we love that.
In order to make that easier, we added some new sources of endurance charges. There's now a support to make Perfect Strike generate charges, and a support for generating endurance charges from heavy stuns as well. Speaking of totems, we wanted to upgrade the
We don't have
War
time
Break.
for this.
Among the other changes we've made to this class, Answered Call now gives an extra totem, and the spirits have just been generally buffed in many ways. Use it with your limitless ancestral warrior forest to make an army of Karui that would make Tukahama proud.
Oh my god, no. Hey, wait.
We've also
Oh,
merged
fuck.
the Great Wolf Howl and Warcaller's Bellow support, so you can get all the benefits with 1 point.
Oh my god, no way. Oh, that was such a huge fucking buff. Wait, why is it lagging? Stop, please. No.
And Encased in Jade no longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making it a much better defense.
Oh my god, that's actually so good too.
Next up, let's talk about accuracy.
Holy
Accuracy was always
fuck.
intended to be something that warriors
That's
didn't need to care about
forgiveness,
very
not
much so long as they're in
position.
close
True,
combat.
preach.
But unfortunately, that's not currently the case. This was particularly annoying with skills like Bone Shatter, which you certainly don't want to mess with. So we significantly buffed your chance to hit at close ranges when you don't have much accuracy.
Yeah,
Warriors
good.
shouldn't require any accuracy investment in order to hit with close range attacks now.
What? Oh my huge
We also wanted to
W.
improve armor. Now, one of the major weaknesses of armor is the inability to defend against elemental damage. In order
Yeah.
to mitigate this, we're adding a lot more of the stat that allows your armor to defend against elemental damage. It's now
What?
available on items and in a lot more places on the passive tree.
Oh my god, dude.
One
I'm
of the
about
most
to
important
buff.
improvements
I'm
we
about
made
to
in 030 is to
fucking
declunk the
barf
action
my
and flow of shooting
fucking
crossbows.
ass out.
You can now reload crossbows without any movement penalty.
Oh my god.
But not only that, all skills that can be used while moving now slow you for a shorter amount of time. This change benefits everyone, not just crossbow skills.
Holy
With both of these changes put
god.
together, the run and gun playstyle feels much better.
Yeah, it actually needs
It's
to die
hard to
forever.
explain how important this change is for the feel of the class. The Mercenary is also a good chance to talk about how we're rebalancing to make comboing skills much better. Take Shock, for example. It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now, but that isn't really giving you enough time to take advantage of it. If you're going to add a lightning skill into a build that otherwise wouldn't use one, we need to make mechanics like this much better. So we've increased shock duration on monsters to last 8 seconds. And skills like Plasma Blast, which are intended to be good at shocking enemies, now increase the damage
Yeah,
bonus
tell
by
your
a lot
girlfriend
more.
you don't need her more. You have PoE too. Oh
You'll
my
find
god,
changes
these
like this
changes are
all around the
huge.
game.
This is actually massive.
Chill now lasts 8 seconds, giving you more of a reason to weave in cold damage. Freezing skills are better at freezing. Burning skills need to cause burns that last longer. But making skills like permafrost bolts and incendiary shot double down on how
No
they're supposed
shit,
to be used.
it's like totally different.
It makes using
They
them in your build
actually just
alongside other
changed the
skills
game like
much more likely.
fundamentally with a lot of these changes.
We're also making sure to buff specific combos too. The freeze explosions from frag rounds now
Yeah, you
change
can
a
keep
nearby
Druid,
enemy.
actually. This is way better.
And using high velocity rounds with armor break will now fragment the opponent's armor. This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit, even tiny pellets. So that means following it with a shotgun blast is way more effective.
Oh, yes.
Now there's a lot more buffs to crossbow skills, but for now I'm just going to talk about the new one we added, the mortar cannon.
No one
This
cares
one lets
about
you socket
totems.
any grenade skill, and using it will summon a cannon which loads and then fires the grenade you choose.
That is...
Another issue on the
Yeah,
mercenary
me too.
were banners.
It's okay, we can
They
make
were just
up.
not very good.
I'm a
so we're
forgiver,
doing a
dude.
big upgrade
People
to
can
them.
change.
They now last longer, don't disappear when moving out of them.
Mortar
and we
cannon
removed
can
the
lick
Valor
my
mechanic.
gooch, but everything
They
else
now
is
just give a much
actually
more
a
consistent
fucking
and stronger buff.
35 out of 10.
And you can use them when you get enough glory.
Dude, I almost want to play warrior now.
On which one of the main focuses was making various minion types more useful to use together.
No one cares about minions.
Melee
Stop.
minions in particular were just not that great compared to ranged ones. As a starting point, we just straight up removed the requirement for minions to have accuracy.
Oh my god,
Attack
that's
minions now
actually huge.
always hit, which makes them way better. Brutes got some good numeric buffs, but we also added a new command skill where they do a war cry that intimidates enemies and detonates any frozen monsters and allies around you in a big cold explosion. We've also changed the Frost Mage's command skill to an ability that adds ice armor to your other minions, adding a layer of defense. And it makes them deal cold damage back to the attacker as well. The ice armor also makes the minion counters
It's gonna be
frozen,
hard.
so the Brute's war cry can detonate
I'll have
them
to wait
too.
until I see what other changes there are. But warrior is looking
Unearth was changed to work on corpses
insane.
of your dead
Warbringer?
skeletons, allowing you to
Warbringer
summon
is
the minions
hot.
more easily in boss fights. And they also got a new jump ability, allowing them to get into combat faster. Ray's Spectre was also feeling pretty weak for the spirit cost they have. To be honest, we were a little afraid of these when we first balanced them. We've both decreased the spirit cost for a large range of monsters, and have significantly increased Spectre damage too. They should feel a lot more impactful. There's also a lot of new spellcaster weapons with newer cult skills. But I'll just talk about one of them that I thought was particularly cool.
The Reap? Oh my
The
god, they got
Reaping
Reap.
Staff is actually a wicked scythe that gives you a new ability called Reap. When an
Oh,
enemy is low
no.
in life, you can dash forward and rake enemies with the scythe
Oh no,
to
but they
cull them
put it on
instantly,
a
healing you.
weapon. Oh
You can also
no.
inflict critical weakness on enemies too. Now, there's a lot of balance changes in the Witcher's Ascendancy classes, but I'll just talk about two of them for now.
Yeah, but it's on the weapon.
On the
is
Blood
the only
Mage, you were
problem.
previously required
Ooh,
to spend your first points on Sangomancy,
Yes.
which really was supposed to be the downside for being able to access the powerful abilities on the rest of the class. In order to make picking the Blood Mage a better early
Oh my,
option,
this is gonna be
we
hype.
made Sangomancy free, unlocking the power of the rest of the class immediately.
Oh!
On the Infernalist, the demon form wasn't something people were really using because you lost your weapon stats while transformed. Well, you no longer do, so it's a much better option now.
Oh my god!
On the Monk, the wind skills needed a big upgrade for sure.
Holy
Staggering Palm can now
shit!
stack up its duration if you use the skill multiple times in a row. So you can keep the effect of all your skills throwing up wind much more easily.
No one cares about Monk. Shut up. Go back to the Blood Mage. What the fuck?
Wind Blast had the purpose of building up to dazing an enemy.
No one cares.
But
They
dazing
just
just
spin
wasn't worth
around
all that
and
effort.
fucking
Now it just dazes on hit.
lay 'em
Hitting a
out,
single
dude.
Wind Blast will make all
no
your
one
skills
cares
stun
about these
enemies
guys.
more easily.
Seriously. Monk players are fucking losers.
Following up with Vaulting Impact on a dazed enemy
They're
previously did a bunch
slightly
of stuff.
better than... Unless they're
Now it
Chomp.
allows you to break your
Only if
enemy's
you're Teola
stance.
Monk.
When their stance is broken, following up with a fast attack will do way more damage. A cool build that certain people always enjoyed in PoE 1 was hand-to-hand combat.
Oh my
But until
God.
now, we just didn't have a real way to make it viable. Well, that changes now. The Monk, as a true martial artist, now has
I
the
knew
ability
that'd
to
get one of
learn
you,
the
dude.
Hollow Palm technique, a keystone that lets you use all quarterstaff skills while unarmed. All quarterstaff attacks now have a
This is
special
sick.
unarmed version, and
This
you
is
get further
kinda cool.
bonuses
Okay,
to all
Hollow
your attacks
Palm
from
is
stacking
cool. I'm
energy
down.
shield and
This is
evasion on your
tight.
character.
This is actually gangster as fuck. Okay, Monk is chill. Monk's dope. That's tight.
A new
this is
keystone
so
we also
cool.
added to the Monk section of the tree is Walker of the Wilds. This changes Mana Leech to work with elemental damage instead of physical,
This is so cool.
which is pretty useful for all those elemental attacks the Monk has. But it works well for the ranger
This is
too.
actually so cool. This is tight as
Now,
fuck.
one of the least used Ascendancy classes
Yes,
in the game is the
yes.
Acolyte of Chayula.
Yes.
So we knew we needed to make some changes here.
Yes.
One of the key
yes.
things we had to do was make the chaos damage that the Acolyte can do much more useful. So we've added a new skill allowing chaos damage to ignite, shock, chill, and freeze, embracing the elemental prowess of the monk in a truly chaotic fashion.
No one cares about that. What are the
In addition,
damage?
he can make all of his chaos damage leech.
No one cares
And
about
we've
that.
buffed into the breach and embrace the darkness by moving the effects of the 4-point nodes into the base skills.
Wait, but that
He
shit
also
sucks
gains a
already.
new notable, Grasp of the Void, which leaves void illusions behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of darkness, dealing damage to everything in sight.
This shit sucks dick. What the
Now let's talk
fuck?
about sorceress skills. One of the things we wanted to improve on the Sorc is the ability to use multiple elements together more
get rid of
effectively.
fucking... No one cares about Spark, dude.
Now, this might seem small, but one of the things pushing you towards using a single element is debuffs like elemental curses, which lower resistances of a single element.
Yes.
In order to
It's a
fix
huge
that,
problem.
we're making quite a lot of game-wide changes to these kinds of mechanics to broaden what they apply to. So for example, there's no longer 3 curses for fire, ice, and lightning. Instead, there's just a single curse that buffs all 3 at the same time.
Oh, wow. Ellie weakness actually
And things like
pretty good,
Frost
too.
Bomb, which gave you cold exposure, now give elemental exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills.
That's sick. Okay, good change. Big change. That's a good
We
change.
also wanted to make switching between different weapon sets
happening?
smoother, so you can use
Stop.
different elemental staves more effectively.
I don't care about
To do that, we've
Jeffrey
removed the
Epstein.
weapon switch time, and now
How do you
happens
close this
instantly.
shit?
This applies game-wide too.
Okay.
Now we didn't just want to stop there. We wanted to add some specific mechanics that work between different elements, and that's where elemental infusions come in. Certain skills can now drop elemental infusions. For example, when a frost bomb explodes, it leaves behind a cold infusion
shit.
on the ground. After picking it up, you can spend it on one of any number
No
of different
shit.
skills
I
to transform
don't know
how
why
they
they
work.
did that. That wasn't me. I'm like, bro.
Spark will create a nova of cold infused projectiles. Ice Nova will leave a chilled area on the ground. And we also added a new low-level skill that fires ice shards. Use it with cold infusion though,
It's
and
Act
the ice
4.
shards will explode.
It's in Paku. I don't know.
Orb of Storms now generates lightning infusions when you cast enough spells near it. And that's all spells, by the way, not just lightning. Once you have one, you could cast a lightning flame wall, which adds both fire and lightning damage to all the projectiles that pass through it.
This is cool. This is a good
Or
change.
power
This is
up
fucking
Ember
lame.
Fusillade with lightning, which will generate arcs to nearby enemies as each fireball hits. Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a projectile, and by infusing it, you can go full Palpatine. Get fire infusions by blowing up monsters with living bomb. Then use them with Comet to summon a giant fire meteor from the sky. Or use it with Firestorm, which transforms it from a small area into a much bigger one.
I mean,
Firestorm
this
is
is
unique
cool.
in that it can be
This is a good
infused by
change.
multiple different
It's
elements at
just
the same
like,
time.
I just want to
Add
see
an
new
ice
skill.
infusion to rain down ice at the same time as the fire. And add lightning to add deadly strikes from the heavens into the mix. Or use it with all 3 to generate a storm that is
It does-
truly apocalyptic.
It does look sick though. I'm not gonna lie. That shit looks tight as fuck.
Cold Snap has been simply
That
turned
does look
into
really cool.
Snap.
That looks cool. Okay,
Previously,
they
you
got
could
me
use it
there.
to shatter ice, but now it works to detonate all of the different elemental ailments and
Dude,
make some
they
leave
could.
behind infusions.
This is big.
And just like how you could previously use it on Frostbolt, you can now also use it on Orb of Storms and Solar Orb to detonate those as well, which
Oh,
means
that's
you can
awesome.
create many infusions at once.
Okay.
We also have a Spirit Reservation skill
Alright.
and a support gem to help generate them too.
Okay, that was actually tight as fuck.
On the passive tree, we've added quite a few new keystones to the Sorceress section. Here are a couple of examples. The Black Flame Covenant keystone converts your fire spells to chaos and causes your ignites to deal chaos damage.
That's actually sick as
Your
fuck.
fire spells and ignites will also turn purple.
That is so cool. Okay, that
The Ritual Cadence keystone causes
Alright.
your invocation skills to trigger more times.
no one even knows what an invocation
It
skill
makes them trigger
is.
periodically
still.
over a longer duration instead of one. Great for those auto bomber builds. Now, in addition to skill changes, we've added a lot more options for the passive tree for each class. Overall, there are more than 100 new notables on the tree, usually around 20 per class, along with smaller clusters
Okay,
as well.
I'm putting this as
Check
warrior
out
tree,
the
not
old
dog
version.
shit. I got it. I'm taking it.
And here's the new version.
And spell
It's a
skill
lot
buffs,
more
I get that
dense,
one
and
too.
there's more interesting nodes than before. Now, we probably can't go through too many of these in the livestream, so I'll just show you one from each class's area of the tree. We tried to be a lot more thematic with the new nodes. So for example, the Molten One's Gift. It lets the benefit of Armor Break apply to your fire damage. Or
Oh,
how
wow.
about Last Stand, which gives you lots of stats as your situation becomes more and more desperate.
That's whatever.
A lot of these have themes aligning with Ascendancy classes. Like for the Gemling Legionnaire, for example. You have crystallized immunities, which makes you immune to different status
That
ailments
is a
depending on
sick-
which support
I
gem
mean, I
color
hate
you have
gemming, but
socketed
that's
the
cool.
most.
That's dope.
Another Ascendancy class align notable is Sanguimatic Rituals. It allows arcane surges to generate life instead of mana, unlocking that support gem to be used with the Blood Mage Ascendancy. In the Sork
Oh my-
area, you'll find these
what?
Archon nodes that allow you to convert all of your elemental damage to a specific element.
It looks
You
cool.
become a Lightning Archon when you spend enough mana,
Wait, this looks sick.
after which all your skills will be converted to Lightning, and you will do extra Lightning damage as well. We have ones for Cold and Fire too, with different triggers.
Okay, that's cool.
Here's another cool
Bro,
one.
this is crazy.
Elemental Practitioner gives crit bonuses if you've triggered a skill recently, while also making crits generate more energy for triggers.
Okay, that,
Or maybe
cool,
you'd
I
like
guess.
the Great
Thanks.
Boar. It gives you a reason to stack Dexterity to make you tougher, giving a bonus to life and stun threshold.
That's pretty insane.
Or the Cunning Fox. It straight up gives you 5% quality to all your gems.
Okay, that's fucking lame.
Now,
as
another
shit.
major change is attribute requirements. We felt like players probably had a few too many nodes and attributes, and not enough in interesting passives. So we
Yeah,
lowered
'cause the
attribute requirements by
this is
25%
actually
across
a
the
huge
board.
W. Attribute requirements and PoE
That means you'll have
were
more points to spend on
cancer.
interesting
That
notables
is-
rather than just
that
needing
is
to
a
allocate more
huge
strength,
dub.
dex, and int. Now, there are way more changes than just these. These are just some of the cooler ones we wanted to show off. But I'd say that's just about enough for now. We're not even half done yet. So I think it's time that we talk about the
crazy.
League, the rise of the Abyssal. And to do that, I'd like to hand things over to Mark.
Okay, is it Abyss or is it
As
Delve?
you just saw, even though there are major
Hello,
changes
Mark.
to the
How's it going?
campaign for
Good
this
to see you.
update, we want to make sure that every time you come back for an expansion, each area feels different with something extra going on.
Oh, no,
It is
it's one
really
of
important
these.
to make sure your experience when returning between expansions is fresh and filled with new content. And the way we did this was through leagues. Every expansion we make has a league, which not only has a fresh economy, but also has
It's
new
Abyss.
content
We
exclusively
got Abyss,
available
dude.
in that.
Someone, I forget who said that, but
So,
Abyss is in.
Let's delve into the details of what Path of Exile 2's first official league is bringing to the table. The Abyssal are a race that have mastery of forbidden magics and necromancy. They were thought to
Wait,
be
is this
extinct,
actually Delve?
but have
Hold
merely
on.
been biding their time
Am
underground.
I about to fucking
You
shum
first
on
encounter signs
stream?
of the Abyssal in Clairfell, where you discover that during the night, weaker members of the Undead Legion have been attacking the encampment. The townsfolk require your help to
This better- if
investigate
this
where
is
the
Delve,
monsters are
I'm
coming
about to
from
shit and
and
come
put a
right
stop
now.
to their
I'm
attacks.
shum. I'm shumming everywhere.
Ancient creatures lurking beneath the surface.
As you proceed through Rayclast, you'll find fissures in the earth connected to larger pits. The monsters normally inhabiting the area are being affected by it, harmed by it even, having their souls eaten to strengthen the abyssal underground. As you defeat the monsters, the fissure closes and abyssal emerge, angered by you killing their food. Once all those fissures have been sealed, the pit activates, and more abyssal pour out. This is where the larger and more dangerous monsters reveal themselves, as hordes of abyssal spew out from the pit to take your soul. If you kill a magic pack, then magic abyssal arise. If you kill a rare, then a rare monster will emerge from the pit, having absorbed some or all of its modifiers for itself. This means the monsters emerging will generally be more difficult and more rewarding, as each modifier gives better rewards. If you are able to kill them all, the pit will seal shut. As each pit is closed, it reveals a potential reward. Abyssal troves will rise up out of the pits, allowing you to get some epic loot.
A nod rib.
Areas often contain many pits, with many fissures, and the amount goes up as you progress through the game, getting more intense. It doesn't stop there. When monster mods are absorbed, they have a chance to become infused with the dark necromancy, transforming them into abyssal modifiers. For example, you defeat this monster with the Mana Siphoner modifier. Their soul is eaten by the pit, and a rare monster emerges. The Mana Siphoner modifier has transformed into Soul Siphoner, and is now amplified in danger and reward. Abyssal pits also interact with other monsters and mechanics. If you defeat a rogue exile that's near one, it'll be revived as a Lichborn that has multiple abyssal modifiers. Lichborn exiles even have their own unique jewel they can drop, if you are lucky enough to encounter and kill them. If an abyss spawns near a boss, Killing it will summon a gigantic Giga Larvae creature.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Monsters imprisoned in Essence's near abyssal
Giga
pits
Larvae
are affected
creature.
by the abyss too. They will come with an additional new Essence item that can be used to craft your items. So, that's your bread and butter of the Abyssal League. Kill surface-dwelling monsters,
Okay,
kill the
it's not
emerging
dull.
abyssal,
It's Abyss.
close the fissures, overcome pit encounters, and reap the rewards.
Let's chill.
There's a lot more to this league, however. As you complete abysses, you can find ancient pieces of bone, preserved from the remains of fallen Lichborn. These are one of the many rewards for your mission to seal the pits. You can use this on a rare item to imbue it with abyssal magic, adding a special hidden modifier to your item. But how do you reveal it? In Act 2 of
Oh.
the campaign, you'll encounter a new area.
Oh,
This
fuck,
area is
dude.
overrun by the Abyssal and the Lost Men.
This is sick, actually.
After clearing through this
is
area,
tight
you'll
as
find the
fuck.
Well of Souls, a giant cavity with a
Oh, I'm
massive
about to
vortex
shum,
of souls
dude. They added
swirling
an
beneath you.
unveiling?
So how do you reveal the mods on your Abyssal-infused items? Obviously, just throw them in, right? Yes, that's exactly what you do. Before throwing it in, you are given the option of how you want to transform it, in the form of a choice of 3 different modifiers. Once
Oh,
you've chosen your desired
dude, this
mod,
is so
throw it in,
sick.
where it will absorb the power of the souls, and the ominous creature will then retrieve it for you.
Okay,
These
is this
modifiers
necessary
can be
though? Do we
ones
need
from
to
the
do all
core
this
mod
every
pool,
time? Or
all
can
the
we...
way through to specialized modifiers that cannot normally appear on items.
Is there a quicker version?
During the
or how's that
campaign,
work?
you can use it as a way to more easily add useful existing
Oh,
mods.
dude, this is
but
sick
during
as
the
fuck.
endgame, there is a whole set of new and powerful mods you can add to your items. Like this mod for crossbows that allows you to place an additional ballista totem.
Oh my god,
Or this
dude.
one that adds spirit to your staff.
Oh my, what the?
Or this one that allows you to generate more combo with your quarterstaff skills.
No one cares about combo.
And speaking of endgame, you can also use the system to craft waystones.
Oh, fuck off.
With a preserved
no.
vertebrae fused into your waystones, you can get
No.
some new modifiers that push difficulty and rewards to new heights.
Oh no.
Here are some examples of those mods.
Oh.
You always get a choice of 3, so you can avoid anything you don't think your character is capable of. With this modifier, the natural
You
inhabitants
stop.
of the area are
I just
all
want the
spawned
animation
near
for it,
abysses.
right? Like, fuck.
And there are up to 9 additional abyssal pits in the area, making it just a full-on abyss ruckus.
Oh, this is bad.
Or this one, which causes the final abyssal pit in the area to always result in a boss encounter, be it either one underground or one that emerges out. There are dozens of these waystone modifiers in total you can get from this crafting. That covers the new crafting mechanic. So what's left? Well, we talked about how when closing pits you can get abyssal troves, but sometimes when closing an abyss, you'll reveal an underground cavern that leads to the abyssal depths. After jumping into the depths, you'll find an abyssal city, swarming with legions of the undead. When underground, every single rare abyssal enemy will have an abyssal modifier. And at the end of the dungeon, you'll even find a rare with a more powerful Lichborn modifier.
True, I agree. Abyssal
Once you're
City is
able
sick.
to defeat this powerful rare, you can also find some nice rewards.
Greater
Aside
orb
from
of
the entire area
augmentation.
being valuable due to the abyssal modifiers on the monsters, it has its own specific drops too. One example is a set of lineage supports that can rarely be found in these depths,
I
like
assume so.
Kurgel's Leash. This support empowers both you and your minions when you command them, granting unholy might to you both. Another depth-specific outcome is a set of omen-like items that amplify your abyssal crafting.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. That's tight.
Additionally, we're adding some new socketables that can drop from the abyssal depths. Take Ullaman's Gaze, which can be socketed into your armor. These are a bit special in that you can only have one equipped at a time, but give some pretty powerful effects. Think of them as almost a unique socketable for your equipment. In the endgame, where you can still find depths, you also start to find a different type of underground chamber. In these areas, you'll find an ancient spire, a device being used by commanders of the Abyssal factions to plunge Rayclast into a lightless void. Your goal is simple. Kill this commander and destroy the spire. There are 4 bosses in the Abyss League, and there are some pretty cool uniques available from them.
Nice.
An example is this belt,
Sick.
Darkness Enthroned. It has 2 sockets.
That's
But
cool.
hold on, socketables don't work on belts. Well, this belt has a special mod that allows it to count as a different slot for the purpose of socketables. This one, for example, counts as a helmet.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
kind of
chill.
want one that counts as a body armor. I wonder how rare that one is. You can also find this unique jewel, Undying Hate. This jewel transforms part of your passive skill tree into an abyssal version and has multiple depths. The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree is
That's
affected,
actually
allowing
big.
you to fulfill your fantasy of becoming part Abyssal Lich.
Ooh, that is actually
Now,
such
the
a big
last
deal.
thing
Wow.
that Abyssal commanders can drop
Holy
is a
fuck.
Finger of the Lich.
Timeless
But
jewel,
what
huh?
use do you
We're
have with a random undead finger? Well, the next time you return to the Well of Souls, with the finger in your inventory, your character will almost feel compelled. To do what, though, you might ask? To jump in. The items you threw in came back more powerful, right? So, what's the worst that could happen? Well, you will just have to find that one out for yourself. Along with
don't
the
do
introduction
it, dude.
of
It's a
Act
bad
4
idea. You're gonna
and
find
the
a big
interlude,
scary monster in there.
we will be
Hello?
adding 25 new in-game maps.
Okay.
These maps will contain all
We'll
the
be
new
getting rid
monsters
of Val
and bosses we're
Factory.
adding.
Getting rid of
improving
Val
variety
Factory.
and giving you opportunities to experience the new boss fights many times.
And you will also be
Let's
getting
take
rid
a
of
look at some
Val
examples.
Factory. Think about it.
Rock Pools is a map where you explore a shallow rocky coastline, surrounded by coral and filled with sirens. At the end is a giant Goblin King boss, ready to eat sulfite and squish you like a bug.
It's so funny. He's playing with small bodies.
Holton is an Ezomite township which has seen better days. Explore and clear the township to find a gothic, Reaper-like boss with the ability to
What's that one,
manipulate
bitch?
storms and fry you with both lightning and wither you with chaos.
Yeah, Verana. Thanks, chat.
Given some of the new bosses added are a bit more epic, such as the Act boss and final bosses of each interlude part,
Oh, my leg fell asleep. Ah.
it would be a bit of a waste to just use them as regular map bosses. Instead, we'll be adding some new mechanics to the Atlas that use them.
We're gonna rip Val
These
Factory.
start appearing pretty fast into the endgame and will help bridge the gap until you do your pinnacle bosses. In the desert biome, you can encounter a wild sandstorm. 3 maps around the sandstorm contain a device you must activate. Upon doing this, the sandstorm's magic is disrupted, revealing the map inside and allowing you to access it and
It's Val
find the
Factory.
cause. This presents itself in the form of a boss, similar to the existing Citadel bosses. This boss is a Faradin Swordmaster, who has been blessed with the power of a Time Djinn, allowing him to take his swordsmanship to the next level by replicating himself, maneuvering rapidly, and severing the fabric of time itself with his powerful slashes. In the water biome,
cool.
you'll encounter a giant maelstrom, where one of the maps surrounding the water biome connects to it, but the connection is obscured. You must run the maps nearby, hoping to find a beacon, which will remove the maelstrom and reveal the connection to that map. Another example is this Val Vault in the mountain biome.
Oh,
But
no.
how do we get inside?
I don't do any Val maps.
Running
Sorry.
the adjacent maps to it will yield a key,
If it
which you
says,
can
if
then
it says
use to
Val
gain
anything, I
access to
skip.
this vault. Or, you could just trade for one, I guess. Use the key to dispel the powerful force field surrounding it, leading to the Val Elite and their rewards inside. These all contain Uber versions of the Act 4 boss, and the bosses at the end of each part of the interlude. And each have their own exclusive drop pool of new lineage supports, which, as
Okay.
Jonathan spoke about earlier, are powerful support gems that modify your skills in
It makes
pretty
sense.
crazy ways.
That's chill. If they drop linear
As an
supports,
example of a
that's
lineage
good.
support which can come from
I
the
think.
Faradin Swordmaster mentioned earlier,
We'll have to see. That's
we
like I
have
will have to
Garo-Khan's
see.
Resolve, which causes your critical strikes to fork, but requires some mobility on your part to properly enable. From the boss sealed in the Val Vault, we have Paquate's Pact, which supports your war cries, causing them to inflict massive amounts of corrupted blood at the cost of your own life. Additionally, some maps can now spawn summoning circles, a room resembling an Ezomite henge. Activating this henge will spawn bosses. It's as simple as that. We'll also be making changes to how affixes and waystones work, as the current prefixes equals good, suffixes equals bad iteration isn't quite hitting the mark. We tried something new here in Path of Exile 2, but after seeing the feedback, we decided we actually liked what we had in Path of Exile 1 more.
Good. Yes.
Like Path of Exile 1, each affix will now be both difficult and rewarding. Waystone mods now grant an increase to the number of waystones dropped, and an additional specific upside attached to it.
Oh my
This means
God,
as you
this
roll your
is-
map, they will continue to get more difficult
This is
and more rewarding, and
such
allow you to customize the difficulty and rewards of your maps better.
good change. This
For
is
example,
that is such a
the
good change.
Frostbitten
Oh
mod,
my
which causes
God.
enemies to deal cold damage,
Oh, that's
also
actually
increases the
so
rarity of
big,
items
dude.
dropped
That
as its
is
upside.
Holy
Whereas the
fuck,
of
that
Venom
is
suffix
such
modifier,
a good
which causes
change.
enemies to poison on hit,
Oh,
has the upside
fuck
of
me.
granting increased pack size. Some maps will end up having a lot of rarity,
This is
some
such
a lot of pack
good
size,
change.
and
Oh,
others
God.
will just have a mixture of everything. Due to now having more modifiers granting difficulty, we will of course be reducing the difficulty per modifier to account for this.
Yes, good. Yeah, even better.
So,
oh yeah.
that's your
Mhm.
Atlas,
Yes.
maps, and waystones.
Yes.
But what about Breach, Ritual, Pinnacle content, and others of the sort? We're making some changes around this too. The first change is that you'll now be able to invest 2 points into your specific League Atlas trees before having to run the Pinnacle content.
Okay, great choice.
There will be a specific objective for each type of content which grants you those points. For example, in the case of Delirium, it's simple. You just need to find and kill one of the bosses in a map, Omniophobia or Kosis. The rest of the points for each content come from the Pinnacle content, but we're making some changes to accessibility here
Okay,
too.
that's good. I like that. That's a
Currently,
good change.
access to most Pinnacle content requires the same key at the easiest and most difficult version of the content. This creates a negative feeling where at lower difficulties, instead of wanting to run the content, you're often better off just selling it to someone who can run it at maximum difficulty. To address this, each content will now drop splinters, which will not form into singular items. Instead of using the singular combined item in the realm gate, you can now just bring your splinters. Upon inserting the splinters into the realm gate, an interface will appear, allowing you to pick your difficulty, and you'll notice each difficulty has a different entry cost.
Interesting.
This means if you want to run easier difficulties, it costs less, which also allows
I
you
think
to
that's
run
a
this
W.
content
I think that's a
much
good
sooner
change.
into
I
the
think that's a good
endgame.
change as well. I'm calling this the Atlas rework.
Because these encounters now just require splinters, their corresponding Atlas tree no longer affects the difficulty of them, and has been changed to purely affect the content and maps on the Atlas. The Arbiter of Ash works a bit differently. Instead of requiring splinters, he still needs crisis fragments. We now have only 2 difficulties of the Arbiter. The first, requiring the existing fragments obtained from citadels. The second, Uber Arbiter, requires calamity fragments. These come from citadel bosses also, but only once you've allocated the maximum number of points in your boss Atlas tree, ensuring those citadels are at their highest difficulty level. Since we're talking about Pinnacle content, we also felt that the leveling curve in the late game was a bit too steep. We've smoothed this out a bit so that it's easier to get to the mid-90s.
Good. That I think
We've
that's a
also
good change.
added some new in-game unique
95
items.
should be like the
Let's take a
ideal
look at a
level.
couple.
95
Thunderfist
is
is a
perfect.
pair of gloves that grants Crackling Palm, a skill which empowers your unarmed attacks, granting the ability to call down the storms themselves on enemies
That's
you
sick.
hit.
These are cool.
Put simply, literally every monster you hit with your unarmed skills will be struck by powerful lightning.
This is sick
Pair
as
this
fuck.
with the aforementioned Hollow Palm technique to embrace your true unarmed prowess in combat.
This is good.
Another unique we're adding is Henekura's Sight. Equip this amulet to be granted the power of the Mother of Death herself. This is reflected by granting you a skill called Foresight.
Yeah, they did Hollow Palm. It
While
actually
you
looks
have
dope as
Foresight,
fuck.
your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. But instead, being hit while dodge rolling restores you to full life and makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll
Oh.
notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet.
Okay, that's insane.
Ultimately, your in-game
Yeah, I'll be
experience should
making
be
a
more
monk
streamlined,
later.
with new
But that's
content to
sick as fuck.
find. You'll
That
be
is
able
cool.
to invest in your Atlas
I
trees
love that.
sooner, engage with Pinnacle content faster, have less FOMO running said Pinnacle content, reach higher levels easier, and do all of that while finding many new chase endgame items.
I'll let you reveal a lot of shit about monk.
Talking about finding items is one thing, but what about crafting them?
Okay, big.
We've taken a step back and looked at some of our crafting systems to make some notable improvements.
No, but you got hollow palm.
Let's start with essences.
And a bunch of. And
Which
it
suffered
looks
from
like
an
there's a lot of
issue where the
support to it.
regular essences were effectively useless and didn't give players the tools or excitement that a crafting system should provide. To alleviate these concerns,
definitely make a
essences
monk
are being
later.
changed in a few ways.
And that monk looks sick as fuck.
Firstly, they're being changed to function like regals and add specific modifiers with specific values.
That is.
Meaning you know exactly what you're going to get.
This is the. This is.
We found that
This is a
players were
30
often
out of 10
bottlenecked by
change.
regal orbs when crafting
This
in
is
the
a
campaign,
30 out
so
of
this
10
helps to
change.
fill that gap, allowing you
Yes.
to better upgrade your items.
Yes, this is. Yes, that
For
is
example,
a huge W.
This lesser essence of flames, which will be able to add a flat amount of fire damage to your magic martial weapons. Secondly, we're adding many more tiers. That lesser essence of flames, for example, has a regular variant and a greater variant too,
Yeah.
adding even more fire damage with each upgrade. The intention of this is so that when you find one early on, you don't worry about holding on to it till later to use on a higher level item.
Yep. Yes.
You should feel
good.
free to use them as they come
Yes,
to get powerful
good.
upgrades during the campaign.
Good job. Big buff. Big.
Lastly,
Very good.
our highest tier of essences, now called Perfect Essences, will function like a Chaos Orb instead of a Regal. So it will replace one of the modifiers on your rare items with the specified mod.
That is also
Such
dope.
as this Perfect Essence of Flames. You'll notice this one doesn't just add flat fire damage like the ones before
This
it.
is also
The
gangster as
Perfect
fuck.
Essences often give something a bit different, with some opportunities to be pretty damn powerful.
Holy fuck. Crafting,
There are many
this
different
is so much
essences,
better.
each
Oh my
with
God,
many
this is so much
tiers,
better.
covering many of the more core modifiers you'd want on items early on.
Dude, yeah, this
through
this
to chase
point
specialized
3
ones
is
for in-game.
crazy, dude.
Speaking of in-game, we really wanted to expand our crafting options for late in-game crafting projects. You might have noticed that at in-game,
Oh,
you
PFJ,
get
where's he at?
way too many transmutes. Wouldn't it be nice if some of those didn't drop, but instead you got something a little more powerful? At higher levels, you can now find Greater Orb of Transmutation and Perfect Orb of Transmutation. These can be used on normal items to upgrade them to magic, ensuring that the modifier generated is of a minimum level. This is similar to how you find higher tier
That's
items on the
also
ground,
yeah, no
but for
shit. He's a
crafting.
piece of shit.
These higher tiers will also exist for Orb of Augmentation, Regal Orb,
Oh, dude, this is
Exalted Orb,
actually big. This
and
is
Chaos
big.
Orb,
Oh my god, this
meaning
is
you can get
so
all of the
big,
orbs
dude.
required to take your item from normal rarity to a fully completed rare with guaranteed high tier mods.
Oh, this is such a big deal.
On top of these new core crafting currencies,
Yeah,
we
neither do
wanted
I.
to make
I actually
sure there
love
are powerful
PFJ, but I
crafting
also
bases
love
to
saying
use them
fuck
on.
PFJ and
Now in
calling
the
him a
in-game
piece
you
of
can
shit.
start to find exceptional items. These are items that drop at normal rarity and are perfect for your from-scratch crafting projects.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, I like
They
that
can
too.
come
They
with
brought this
extra
from
quality,
PoE.
up to
It's a big
30%,
deal.
or an additional socket to use your crafting socketables in.
That's also a deal.
And yes, they can be corrupted for yet another socket.
Oh my fucking god,
You
dude.
can also get
are-
exceptional
these are
unique
sick.
items. To add even further to your crafting arsenal, we've added a whole suite of new omens to ritual content, and removed some of the more unimpactful ones that weren't being used. Some
I
of
think
the new omens include the
I'll
Omen of
just
the
below
Ancients,
comment in a second.
which will
sorry.
cause your next orb of chance to not destroy the item, but generate a random unique of the same class.
Oh, that's cool
Or
as fuck.
the Omen of Sanctification, which is my new favorite. This will cause your next divine orb used on a rare item to reroll the values of its modifiers, allowing it to exceed the normal minimum and maximum values, raising the ceiling on the new most powerful rare items in the game.
What?
This omen will also cause your item to become sanctified. Sanctified items cannot be crafted, just like corrupted ones, so consider carefully when you use this. Another is the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will cause your next Chaos Orb to reroll all modifiers on a Waystone. allowing you to fix your maps if you get some modifiers that
Oh
are not
my
feasible for your build.
God, that's so good. Oh
Besides
my.
these examples, there is a huge variety of new omens for you to discover in your
Oh
virtual
my
encounters.
God.
With the release of Act 4,
No.
notably taking place in the Karori Archipelago, you'll be able to now find a new currency item, Henikora's Lock.
Whatever. I'll never.
Henikora,
You won't be able to
the
find
Karori
those.
goddess of death,
Don't
has the
kid me.
power of foresight and is able to see many futures.
Yeah, that's a div sync.
Including the
Yep, that's
outcome
what we
of your
need.
next
We need div
craft.
syncs. We need currency
So,
syncs.
imbuing her lock onto an item gives you that same power too. For example, you'll know whether or not to use an Exalted Orb on your item, as you will know exactly what the outcome is.
Oh my God,
So,
dude. I'm about to.
with all these new crafting improvements, it's safe to say you're going to be making some epic items. And
Yeah,
not necessarily just ones for yourself. So
The crafting's
given
gonna be
that,
insane,
It's
I'm
time
not
to
gonna
talk
lie.
about a massive one.
Oh my
Trade.
God. Holy
It's
fuck.
finally here.
I'm about to
the
beat off
moment
right
we've
now on stream.
all been waiting for.
Oh my.
Fully asynchronous trade.
No way.
Over the years, the way players trade with each other in Path of Exile 1 has morphed from using the forums through to the in-game chat, all the way through
Dude,
to using
I'm.
the website.
Yeah, I don't know what to
These
say.
systems, in all their iterations,
What do
worked
those
for a
stinky
while,
liberals say
but
when
with
they're being
each
all
iteration,
fucking
new
gay?
problems eventually
I'm literally
revealed themselves.
shaking. I'm literally
Be it
shaking.
requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing
I can help
monsters,
myself. Sorry, it's a preview. It was a
or
low
never
hanging
getting
fruit.
responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered.
Oh.
In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can continue farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please,
Oh.
and can even be offline. With the introduction of King's March in Act 4, you will encounter Ange, assistant to Rob
my
in the Meridian
God,
Free
dude.
Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business. If you have a hideout unlocked
Yeah,
already,
but you also
can
remove
immediately
price
invite
fixing
her
with
there.
this method. This is why it's really
if you
good.
don't have a hideout yet, you will need to
Well,
acquire
theoretically.
one. You can do this by completing a quest to defeat one of the bosses
shit.
inhabiting
No
an
shit.
island in Act 4,
Rest in peace, my boy Fosses.
allowing
Never
you then
forget.
to take a slice of it for yourself, making it your new home and base of operations. Once invited to your hideout, she will now serve as operating your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire.
This is so.
How does this new system work?
Yeah, how does it work?
In the existing trade system, you would list items for sale in premium stash tabs. And then when someone wanted one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them.
You're still gonna use the trade site.
Now, instead of using those, you can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set. The prices are set using in-game currency items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it on the trade website.
Okay. This is. I'm
Once
okay
a
with the
desired
trade
item
site.
has been found, you can hit a button, which will instantly teleport your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item. And while there, if you want, browse their other goods, in case there's a good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered.
Dude,
You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is
Dude,
sold,
you have.
and can
This
also
is
see an
so
effect above
sick.
Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency.
Dude, you imagine
Just
unveil
go
items?
talk to
All those
her,
cunts that have
claim
all
your
the
currency,
unveils?
and continue playing at your leisure.
Yeah, no shit. Give me that bad boy. I'll take one of
As
those.
many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system,
They'll be
we
on
wanted
Ange.
to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs, if you want. You can do that here, on the website, but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the third edict. To clarify, the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality. We just figured people might want to switch over to this new system.
Oh
We
god.
expect a lot of feedback around this new system,
Oh,
and are looking
yes.
forward to trying it out with you.
That.
As we are not able to test internally with an entire, thriving economy, there will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we will be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so any of the tabs you purchase will also be usable there later. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Justice and Trathan Executioner packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way.
Yeah, I'm okay with them like waiting on the trade site for a while. I imagine it'll take a time before they implement that in game, which I assume they will do it in game.
Claim glory after defeating enemies, or inspire your allies by calling down the Banner of Justice portal. The Sphinx Mystic hideout decoration will identify items for you, displaying them as it does so. This ancient creature has been presented with many items over the eons, so has some strong expressions to make on the quality of your wares. Become a true warrior, worthy of delivering the justice of the eternal gods with the Apostle of Justice armor set. This armor set also comes with a matching back attachment containing a set of scales to measure your worth. With the Apostle of Justice finisher effect equipped, the Goddess of Justice
as actually the best MTXer in PoE, I'm saying this is mid, okay?
Witness as she decides the fate of your slain foes.
It's mid.
Will they ascend to be amongst the gods?
Mid.
The Griffin fledgling pet will be a courageous companion as you journey throughout Rayclast. Take your place in the skies in the Plateau of the Gods hideout. This hideout comes with many different sections for setting up your home or base of operations. In order to travel between them, you simply just need to walk off the edge. Like a true eternal god, you can float between the mountains on the clouds themselves.
This is cool. Okay, fine. Whatever. Fuck you.
The Trathan Executioner pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Trathan Executioner finisher effect is a brutal display of Trathan might, crushing slain unique enemies as if they were bugs beneath your heel. As a Trathan Executioner, you're the perfect master for the ever-hungry carrion raptor pet. It has taken a particular liking to the taste of other pets, and at your command it will swoop down.
I don't think there's any new classes. I actually think there's none.
Proceeding to satisfy its hunger by feeding on their corpse.
Because MTX is usually the last thing they do.
The nobles of the 4 major Trathan houses had their mercenaries, but if their hired hands became notably irritating, they'd have to call in the Trathan Executioners. You can now embrace their methods and become brutality incarnate with the Cruel Trathan Executioner armor set.
Yeah, we need
the
a new
matching
bird.
Cruel Trathan Executioner cloak will shroud you in scarlet as you crush the skulls of
well,
your
my Goblin
enemies
Band isn't
and leave a
fucking
trail of
activated in
blood behind
PoE2,
you as
okay?
you build
So
up a kill streak.
think about that one.
Or use the alternate variant to simply put a skeleton on your back.
Okay, this is all. This
Be
is okay.
bathed in blood as you mutilate monsters.
The helm is a little rough.
The swirling blood increases in volume as your spree of slaughter continues.
That is kind of cool
Both
too.
this effect and the cloak use the same kill streak for tracking how much blood is shown.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of
After
chill.
a long and tiring day of executions,
My
enjoy
boys?
a relaxing game of dice with the Goblin Gambler's hideout decoration. They'll definitely be playing fair, right?
What?
The Pulverizer map
I have to
device
get
brings
that.
a horrid efficiency to punishing the damned of Trathis.
What is?
Each map you open will execute
I mean,
the
that's
next
cool.
victims.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck yeah.
This map device in its true ruthlessness tracks the total number of monsters killed, your kills per second, and your largest kill streak up to the point of the map being completed. This is then displayed on a leaderboard so you can take a measure of you and your friends' violence at the end of each map.
That's chill.
Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. That's enough about cosmetics. Let's get into the Q&A. But firstly, I want to give a huge thank you for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, at 11 AM NZ time, or 4 PM Pacific, we'll post Path of Exile 2, the Third Edict's patch notes. With the release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you need for the release. Keep an eye on the news. Thanks for
Okay.
joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to seeing your experiences with Act 4 and its new bosses, fighting the Abyssal, trying new builds, and crafting new items. We'll begin the Q&A
I believe 11
shortly,
p.m.
so please get your questions ready.
Okay. I don't watch the Q&A because it makes me want to fucking neck myself, but... Wow. So first of all, we did terrible on our bingo card. We got fucking rinsed. Nothing about towers, no movement skills, no crafting bench, no new classes, no Act 5. They did not mention the Trial of Ascendancy, no new Ascendancies. LS is probably... It doesn't matter. I'll give it to me because I feel bad. Yeah, Ziggy just fucking funnels her balls, which is fine. I don't know about this. Nothing about this. Probably not. I was thinking sprint, but sprint would be like a cheeky way because like I was thinking, like leap slam is more. Yeah, this was incorrect. It was actually ranger buffs. And then it was not delve. It was abyss, which we got. But yeah, so bingo card was honestly, it's all right. Well, we'll get it next time. We had a lot of dreams, and I'm not gonna lie, they did a lot of things I did not expect. There were so many things I did not expect that caught me off guard. I need to go through. Dude, I should have been writing down a list of shit because I gotta make a video on this. But like, holy shit! I think that was like. I think that was pretty much like as good as it could have been without classes, without new classes or ascendancies, right? Like what if you like think of the highest level, it was long as fuck. If you think of like the highest level it could have been without adding a new class or ascendancy, that was probably the best it could have been. Because they did a lot of really good shit. A lot of the crafting reworked. I like the sprint mechanic. I like the change to the map modifiers. That was a big one. All the new skill changes, the new supports, all the new options for the classes, the tree rework. I mean, they just did a lot of shit that honestly, the defensive additions for warrior, the trade rework, like wow. They actually did a lot of shit. Yeah, no, early access is we are definitely not getting 1.0 by December. That is not happening at all. End of story. Yeah, oh my god. That was a big deal. That was huge. Fuck, dude, I gotta start notepadding this shit. Okay, so what do we have that was poggers? We have new skills, which is beast. New supports / support changes. This is a big one as well. Honestly, map mod changes are a big deal. We got unveiling plus buffed crafting. They actually buffed the shit. I'm gonna do a summary video here, like once I get done with this list. Actually, I'm gonna do one really quick. So we got unveiling and buff crafting like significantly, which is really good. This is with essences and what else? We had essences, the regular crafting orbs. We also the new trade. It's essentially a trade house, trade shop. This is also cracked the fuck out. New skills. The passive tree rework, which really needed to happen. That was a huge deal. Another act, which is cool. With new pinnacles. Pinnacle boss changes as well. They added in a bunch of new keystones and stuff like that and reworked a bunch of areas in the tree. So, for example, in the warrior, or like in the sorceress tree, they made it so all fire damage is converted to chaos. Oh, the blood mage buff is massive. So then let's say redid the code on the armor ally reduction thing is taken into account before resistances, so it's ass. We'll have to see. The Blood Mage buff is absolutely fucking huge. Kaula Monk is still troll. What else? Yeah, Hinakora's locks. They're speaking on why no new class. It's actually making sense low key. All right, fine. I guess we'll go look at it. If you say so.
Keep your clothes
We have an ad.
organized and outfits ready with the Command Folding Clothes Hanger. Easy to install. For more hanging space.
Yeah, we got Hinakora's locks,
wherever you need it.
which is actually kind of cool. Hinakora's locks
Holds
plus
up to
new
5
omens.
No tools required. And when you're done using it,
It's PoE 2.
Simply
It's PoE
fold
2.
it
It doesn't
away
count.
and
Our
get on
shit's
with your
way.
day.
Our view count is way inflated.
Command Folding
We go
Clothes
from like
Hanger.
2 to 10. Literally a 500% jump.
That's
It's
kind
a
of a
little
pretty
bit crimi-
glaring.
It's a little
yeah.
bit criminal to get this far without
Yeah,
it.
to be honest, it is. Yeah. So I'd say
It
that
is
would be.
weird when you think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
real
So,
weird.
Oh, currency sync, yeah.
That would be an obvious candidate. Is making sure that we've got
So
that.
that people can infer from that some
Yeah.
sort of duelist or something, most likely being
Yeah.
the sword one. Yeah, and as you said, the ascendancies are just kind of the same boat as you weren't satisfied with where they were at to be able to get those in. So that's the things you.
I'm
missed,
being
but
great,
that's, like,
dude.
the list.
I'm
of
hyped the
things you
fuck
missed.
out right now, I tell you
And,
what.
doing something with towers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now we can talk about kind of what you have done. We'll jump into endgame first, since I know the towers and stuff have been a hot topic for people. So we'll talk about the endgame. This wasn't ostensibly supposed to be an endgame update, from what you were telling me, but it still seems like a pretty big endgame update in the end.
Yeah, I mean, well, part of that is because we obviously get all the content that we produced for the campaign. We get to make all the in-game versions of that.
Yeah.
That obviously adds quite a lot. But we did want to make sure that we weren't just being like, okay, so we're adding a bunch of bosses. Like, we wanted to make sure that the more epic ones that we added to the campaign have some new mechanic for them on the Atlas as well. So that's where we had those various mechanics with, like the sandstorm and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, those kind of like Atlas events. And it really does contribute to the feeling of exploration to have more of that stuff. And then, of course, once you got that, you need to start getting into, okay, well, what rewards is it going to drop? Then we started to think we need a new category of rewards that these things can have. And that's, we started to think about the lineage supports and that kind of stuff. So it just ended up kind of adding up to quite a bit in the end. But yeah, it isn't like kind of like the big end game change that we wanted to do. Like, we had a design for that, but we just kind of haven't quite got to it. So, but it still ends up being quite a lot. And one of the big things that also I think will help bridge is the kind of mid-end game part, like that's still a problem that we want to improve, but yeah, like it adds quite a lot there, because you're seeing that stuff on the Atlas a bit earlier.
I like Mark. We can look at
What's the
Mark.
problem there as you identify it?
I mean, you've got this issue where effectively, and we are doing some stuff to address
Yeah.
this, but effectively you've got
Well,
like the
especially,
pinnacles
like-
at the end, and you've got like obviously when you start you've got a bunch of content, but it doesn't feel like
it's
there's
all
those kind of
underneath the neck, you know what I mean?
mid-end
Like,
game
that's
goals
interesting
that
Mark
you
has
can
it
easily
too. Like,
achieve.
that's an interesting angle, you
That's
guys.
kind of the issue that we're
And
trying
a
to
it's
decent
solve.
like a
round,
direction.
you gotta find your
right?
look.
I think there's not enough like
Wouldn't
really
be my go-to.
guiding you. Like, the narrative kind of falls apart there, right?
Right.
Because it's just like
Yeah.
open world, and you want a bit more of telling you where to go, what to do. Have those goals where you're like, I want to do this next and this next, as opposed to like I
exceptional
could
base
do
is
this
actually
or this
sick.
or this. It's nice to have those, but it's nice to also have the things kind of directing you as to like,
Right.
this is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
The boss
Ricky,
I
what
want
do
to
you
get
mean,
to. So
dude?
there's kind of just a big gap there. We want to add a whole bunch of stuff in the
Yeah.
middle there. We have a huge plan, but again, it's like, yeah, we need to.
They,
you got this.
They added a
Working on
bunch
a
of elemental
campaign, you've got
infusions
working on
and,
the
like,
end
elemental
game, and you got all
weakness and
these
stuff
like,
like
how
that.
do you juggle all of these things? It is brutally difficult, and you end up having to think. So I would expect,
Hollow
next
Palm.
expansion to be way more end game centric in terms of fixing all of this, because it was on the whiteboard.
But we did do some stuff with what we had. So like that splinter change, I think, is going to be quite a big one.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like much from what we showed, but
Maybe.
what it does mean is that you've got pinnacle fights earlier in your
They said they buffed
in
a
the
lot of
experience. And of
skills,
course,
so-
you've got the thing.
No, you're
where,
fine. They said they
we're
buffed a lot of
making
stuff.
it make
We'll have
more
to see
sense
in the
with
patch
regard
notes.
to
I'll do a
the,
patch notes review as well.
The difficulty, the access to the different difficulties, by having it so that it's cheaper to get to the lower tier,
Yeah,
tier
Hollow
ones.
Palm
So
Monk
that helps
looks
quite a lot,
sick.
and I think that'll improve things quite a lot even just from that. So yeah,
Of
like
course,
Yeah,
you've
that's
got
a
the
good one
league
too.
now in end game as
Yep,
well.
and of course there's
It's
a
not-
league there too.
The
Yep.
wisps were wisps. sure. Wasn't
Yeah.
really a league. It's
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
just like was
Not a
not
full-fledged
what we've
league
done
mechanic.
before. And a lot of people in PoE 2 may not really even know what a league is. I mean, we kind of had it with Dawn of the Hunt, but yeah, I mean, having Abyss in every single area.
Hollow Palm.
There are
No, you're fine.
icons you can find
A
on
Hollow
the map.
Palm
You can't add
Monk,
them
it
because they
will
are in
allow
every
you to
area of the
scale
Abyss, so-
your
and
damage,
you have,
obviously,
you
with
know,
offhand. And
different,
Hollow
like,
Palm
waystone crafting and stuff like that. So there's
is
a
usually
lot
pretty
easier
good for
just
damage
added by
scaling.
leagues'
Oh yeah,
existence as
timeless
well.
duels are a good one.
It's a
Oh,
whole
dude, timeless duels are a
combination
huge one
with
too.
league mechanic,
Um,
as well, which
And
is
yeah, so
something
they just
that
added in
I'm
Hollow
always
Palm
keen
from
for the leagues, is, like,
PoE1,
have a bit
so you'll
more-
be able to
bit more
use
interaction.
offhand or
You were
like
telling me that
no
you
main hand weapon,
specifically
and you'll just be able to
needed
beat the
that
shit out of
because
things. And it looks like they're adding in some extra uniques for it as well.
For sure.
Like if a rogue exile standing there, you get a special boss
Yeah.
based on the rogue exile. So that's a rather interesting extra combination stuff there.
The map mod
it's
changes are
interesting
so
'cause this is a
big.
league mechanic. It's in every
No,
zone.
you're good.
It's guaranteed. That's part of a league mechanic. But does this also
Right,
have
we're
like
triple
Atlas
checking,
tree
it's no big deal.
integration in the way that it would later on as it becomes like a core element?
No, not the way that's kind of handled is through some of the waystone crafting.
Yeah. Okay.
We
The map mod
depending
changes
when the
are
league
so
ends,
cracked.
you know, we obviously do the whole
It's such a
again
big
more for
deal.
people who maybe don't know what a league is and how we handle this stuff in PoE1. I'll over explain it a little bit, but yeah, generally we review the state of it at the end. We see what changes we want to make. Sometimes we add it to the core game immediately, sometimes later, and then we add it
Should
to
make this
the
list
tree and decide how
while I
we
was
want to
watching
invest
this
into
shit.
all the different things. But we try and have the meta progression, so to speak, of a
Hollow
league
Palm
within
is-
the league
is pretty strong.
itself, and not connected to the like core tree, because you could have a separate tree. It is a thing you could do, but in this case, it comes in the form of the waystone crafting.
You did an
so-
experiment with that recently in Path of Exile 1, doing that in a league, and you didn't exactly
bit
like the
different
result
because
so
it's not a
much.
separate tree, and
Right.
that was during Necropolis, yes, and it felt
Yeah.
like because it's in every area, you have to take it.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
So that didn't work. We're not going to repeat that mistake. It could be a separate tree, but we just did it through the waystone crafting stuff instead, and you can invest in the Abyss and juice the Abyss that way. And
I mean, we'll see how we fold it all in as we go into the
100%.
040 though. Like, that'll be an interesting one.
All right. Well, one of the kind of like
Abyss looks sick.
endgame issues that I've identified in the past was kind of how the Atlas trees worked and progressed and what they afforded, and it felt very top heavy. Like
Yeah.
you had to beat the boss to get points to just scale.
Well,
the
that's
boss
what I'm talking
difficulty.
about with the lack of mid-game stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
that's,
and,
that's
you know,
changed
if-
now though. Like the
Yeah.
league
Redditors are always
going
going to complain, right? And like, you know,
just
oh, it
about
should just
what
would have been,
the
it should have been
content is in
perfect.
that.
Yeah, and you get the
when
points
it
way
first came
earlier,
out,
so,
right? Like,
in fact,
of
you
course
some
it's
of
not
them-
going
yeah,
to be,
we-
which is fine.
we made some changes to that actually as well.
They did a
since
lot of
last
good
night.
stuff. Point 3 did a
Specific
ton of
and thus
like
it wasn't
major
a live
work.
stream
Oh, sprint
accurately.
mechanic.
It was talking about how you have to complete specific objectives like killing the Delirium boss and whatnot to get your
I
points.
think-
It's
I think
actually
point
just
3 is gonna be
now
fucking
you
sick.
follow the quest
Well,
line, and there's a point in where you get the tablet, which is after you find the league and you kill the, just do a Delirium, you successfully go back and get a tablet. You're also going to get the first 2 points there. Now, I wanted to change it so that you can get, like, if we have 8 points, you get 4 points before the pinnacles and 4 points from the pinnacles. Right now it's 2 and 6. We're still looking at this just because we made a change last night. There's a good chance we might end up, adapting this a little bit more. So it's even the first 2 points come even sooner and even more obviously. Like you don't have to RNG into finding a boss in order to get those first 2 points now, which was mentioned there. No longer going to be the case.
But
with the release, so.
we just want to really make sure we're smoothing that progression through, getting that
Great.
stuff earlier, all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
So the other thing
We'll see
like,
about the
was-
combo
you've got
thing.
this,
I
like,
don't
kind of
even know how
roadmap.
true
It
that's
seems
gonna
to
be,
exploration
'cause
focused.
it depends on the
recent
balance.
You did in Daughter of the Hunt. Actually, I felt were a big step forwards in that regard. There was a lot more exploration,
Right.
with the new unique maps and. Even towers, I felt like.
And
when
I
you're
think
using them as an
Jonathan
exploration
mentioned in one of
feature,
the
work
previous
quite well.
interviews
Like,
that like
leapfrog
they kind of
into your
regret
next- you said
forcing
that
skills
next
to be
map over the
used
hills,
or
and
like
that's
not
like a
making
cool motivator
skills
that pulls you
able
through,
to
and that
stand on
helps
their
with that
own.
mid-game
He
issue
mentioned
you
that
were
in one of
talking
the
about. Is that kind
his
of the
earlier
goal, is to
interviews
make
like
this
way
like
back
really
in
exploration
fucking
focused?
June.
It's certainly something that I really love, and the more things you add to
Or
the
maybe it's
Atlas,
like
the
May
more
or
it
something.
feels like you're finding things. But yeah, like so we definitely appreciate the concern with towers being that you've got this tension.
I think the
between
balance will be
having
good
to
because it
turtle in
seems
one
like all they did
location
was
versus
buff.
explore.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we need to look into addressing. But I don't want to kind of like talk explicitly about exactly what we're going to do here, just because there's like obviously a lot in flux there still. But yeah, it's something that we understand the problem, I would say. Like
Yeah.
I would understand that there's an issue, and so yeah, we will be addressing that a bit later.
Yes,
Oh,
the
it
brand
is.
name of towers seems somewhat marred currently. Like It seems like almost
Right,
no matter
yeah.
what you do with them, there's going to be some sort of maybe just delete towers because we have the bad association with it.
That is
going on.
that is a concern, but I suspect that we'll still want to keep them at least for just vision. Like even if we remove
Yeah.
the mechanic
Yeah.
and do other stuff, like we'll just keep them there. So I still think it's fun to just find a tower just to get a circle of vision around it.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah,
that's
that's
the part
fine.
that people are unhappy about with them. So
Yeah, that's
therefore
fine.
It'd be fine to keep that and
Yeah.
move like other power sources
Yeah,
and other things that you
absolutely.
can do somewhere else.
And I even
Yeah.
like the empowering
I had a
the
word
maps
called-
because that is an
But
element of
they said they
control, which
buffed
is another
mostly
thing people
every
Well, I
issue with
mean,
this, so
I
we'll
still
see.
want something that does that. I just
Yeah.
think that it needs to work differently than how it works.
Yeah,
So,
I guess
Yeah,
the
all the
issue seems
triple
to come
LE
down
shit
to,
seems
from
really
what I see,
good.
and maybe chat might have other things. That
I
they mentioned
really
about
like that they
their
address
issues with towers.
yeah.
But the issue, as I see it, is about that feeling that you still need to be stacking tower mechanics on top of other stuff, and if you're not kind of bringing all those things together, then it feels like you're
Well,
wasting time.
my fundamental issue with them is the way that you know that something sucks before you even run it, and that's always bad.
Yeah.
Like effectively, it's like okay, like if you're running maps that don't have a tower around them, you're like okay, well I know this is bad, or and so I feel bad because like
Yes.
I just have to get to the next
Yeah.
tower, and then
Yes.
like when
Yes,
you've
this
done
is
one tower,
100%
but you know
accurate.
that two tower overlapping is a thing, then you're like okay, well I feel bad running a one tower overlap thing when I know
Yes.
that two tower stuff is
Okay.
a thing as well. So
Yes.
there's just this
Preach,
problem of like
Jonathan.
you know that it sucks beforehand, and I think that's never a good thing. Like
Yeah.
it's actually the opposite of the action RPG philosophy of like the reason you have random drops is because like any monster could be the one that drops the next thing.
Exactly.
And if you don't have that, then it's like you feel bad for playing the content because you know it's not the best already. So you need that like random element more. So yeah, there needs to be some adjustment to make that better.
Yeah. Do you think that's like bringing up what the base map experience can be in terms of its upper potential, like adding more
Oh, they added
new
interesting
maps.
confluence of variants?
I mean, look, I always like more interesting combinations of stuff to happen, but I don't necessarily think that the core problem is like lack of ability to juice things.
Yeah.
Like, I think the core problem is to do with the fact that like you don't. Like when it already sucks, as I said, like it's just kind of like that
Yep.
that thing there. So we need to sort of like there will need to be some approach to solving making it more controllable, like more
Yes.
deterministic in some way, like
Yes.
just something along those lines.
Preach,
so that
Jonathan,
you can,
go on.
so that you don't have this
Finally,
feeling of like
yes.
because of because of a thing I can already see that sucks. That this experience is going to be worse than what I'm hoping
Yes.
for.
Yes.
So-
yes.
Somewhat related to this, another thing I see brought up all the time is
Well, we'll see. They're adding
being able to
in.
kind
It
of
looks like they're adding in
choose
multiple
what
currency
map you're
sinks.
doing
It looks like there's a
just
lot of
being able to
currency
exert
sinks
more
going into
elements
this
of
league, which I
control.
think will be a
I
good
saw
thing.
a post in chat just there.
Well,
that
not
was
a lot, but
the idea of being able to kind of erect a tower where you want it,
Right.
rather like is this element of like being able to choose your maps a little bit more, or have a bit more influence on what's happening.
So I think having control over what content is there is good, but I don't know that I want to lose the fact that you still have the Atlas fundamentally where you like the actual map areas you get.
Yeah,
are
this
random.
is great.
And part of the reason for that is that it gives us a lot of opportunities to do interesting things with
Maybe I'll start
different
listening
maps
to
can have
Q&A.
different things that they drop and other stuff like
new
that. Like there's a
maps,
lot of
we
that
have
sort
the
of stuff that's like
splinters.
quite nice. Like you can actually have a unique map be way more powerful if like it's kind of you don't know exactly when you'll encounter it. So that kind of stuff is quite
Flag.
nice. And we want to do a lot more as well on the Atlas, like just more stuff to find. Like when we get to 040, I really want it to be that like you really feel like there's just cool stuff in every map that you might be finding
Yeah.
that's like that's way more interesting. And as I said, that stuff, the problem is if you have full control over literally being able to run the same map every single time, like the same like base area, it means that you don't have the ability to say, okay, well this map can randomly have this thing that's just like really awesome that always drops a unique or something like that,
Yeah.
because then you're just going to run that map over and over and over.
Okay,
So I
and
still
you
like
grind out a
the
league, though,
some
amount.
ability.
I think
some
it'll
ability
be-
to have to find the good stuff in the Atlas.
I think this will
but we just
feel
need more control over what
very-
mechanics you can spawn there and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and like not having the experience of like if I didn't get this exact overlap, then I have this bad experience.
I think
And
that
that's
this
where
league will feel very
exploration
good.
actually
I
comes
think
from
it'll
as
feel
well, is
very,
not-
very good
is
to play
having
this
some
league, to be
element
honest
of
with
not
you.
having that control as well. So maybe it is the case more of just keeping juicing up that exploration aspect
Right,
of it even
right,
more.
right.
Anyway, that's
It's gonna do. This is gonna be
it
Patch of the
already
Blood
felt like a
Mage. I
big
tell you
improvement with
what.
that last one, and we're getting
Right.
the new maps and
Timeless
the
jewels are also
mechanics and
huge.
things scattered in the zones as well. So it seems like there's a fair bit more going
Yeah,
on.
the main
there.
point, like we did what we could, 100%.
Yeah, I think they did great.
And 040 expect a lot more improvements there. But again, we focus more on everything else. The
Yeah, they had to do it. I support
an
them.
insane
completely.
amount of
I think
content
this is
there.
overall
I
understand. It's hard.
We wish Towers was in that list, but it
Yeah.
will be. Don't worry.
Yeah.
These things are coming. We're aware of the problems. We are
Yep.
aware, like 100%.
yes,
you know,
preach,
it was expected
yes.
when we got to that section to see a bunch of.
And I think a lot of people are going to be getting a chance to experience some stuff they didn't experience because it came
You know, it's
later
early
in
say, but
last
any
league
thoughts on
and
early starting
everybody
class?
tapped out for them. So, there's a good bit of extra stuff to explore there, maybe with this one. We'll
Could be
look back
either
around to
Witch
Endgame if
Hunter
people have any
or
questions that they post and that
Warbringer,
we pull from
or
the
yeah,
chat.
Witch Hunter or
We'll move on
Warbringer.
to the Act 4
And
and
we
the
really need to
interludes, 'cause
see
that's a
patch
pretty big
notes.
thing. Obviously, getting rid of Cruel was a priority. You wanted to do that as soon as possible. There's been this problem that you were laboring over for many months about how to do that, how to add Act 4 without having to add the rest of the acts all at once or do some
Mark
weird
is Mark. Go off.
Yeah,
Mike.
you've come up with making more acts to solve the problem.
Yep.
Yes.
Instead of, yeah.
So there was certainly some skepticism when I first proposed this about like how can we possibly
want
do
us to
that?
what?
But basically, the main thing there was that like okay, so the interludes are not exactly the same as an act in terms of like like each one of them is like a straight line, like you're going from here to here. There's no like like different. There's no complexity around the plot or anything. It's just like a single goal of like someone's telling you to do this, go deal with it. There's bosses along the way. There's new areas along the way, but all of that stuff we can use in in-game as well. So that means we're not kind of wasting any of the arts. The only thing we're really wasting is like a kind of like a little bit of like storyline structure around it. But
Dude,
as I
there's
said,
actually
it's
a
not
lot of
nearly the
really
same
good things. I'm
level
not
of
gonna
like
lie.
narrative structure as what you get in like
I was
full act.
actually just thinking, Daniel.
and,
I
that's something
literally
that's,
in my head when I was writing this out, I was like, you know what I'm actually probably going to do? Probably gonna do a couple streams where we do some theory crafting. Where I start putting together what with the patch notes.
And so that means that
There's definitely been doing a lot of that. Definitely doing some theory crafting here.
We can do it if we're like we're using a few mechanics.
Because I'll with the patch notes, I'll probably make a couple of videos on my potential league starters. See what we get. See what we end up with.
It won't necessarily hold up.
See what we can
for, like,
cook up.
years and years.
Yeah, I'll probably do a couple of
Certainly,
those, couple
good
theory
enough
craft
for,
vids
just like
for like probably like
for a
each different
relatively
like class that I
short
come
period
up
of
with.
time. And by the time you get to that point anyway, like you're usually
Chaos
pretty far
Fireball
as a character,
seems-
you're, like,
sounds
rushing
cool as
through,
fuck.
just to get to end game. So I think that that'll end up being like pretty damn good for the time being. Plus, new bosses, new stuff to experience. Like, in my opinion, it was a no-brainer to do it compared to some weird thing like having to repeat Act 1 and 2 again or something weird like that. Like that just wouldn't have been good. And we really wanted to get rid of Cruel. I mean, like we never wanted Cruel to exist, right? It existed as a compromise. So being able to get rid of it is obviously something we were very very keen
Cruel
to do.
being gone is
Something-
probably a
there
good
was
thing.
something, you get to the Act 1 crawl, and you're like, I've know all this content, you're ultra powerful, and that's a little bit feel good. And then you're like, oh, doing all this again.
Wears off quickly,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I did not share this experience, dude. When I hit Act 1
you
Cruel, I'm
can
like,
do it,
yeah,
you know, at
bitch, it's
that
gonna take me like
point,
20
you're
minutes
just
to get
give
through
me
Act
the
1.
end
It's
game,
so
like-
fucking fast.
Whereas when you're playing through, the new acts, like, it feels, well, with Act 4 and the interlude, it feels just a lot more natural and, still fun, and you're discovering stuff, and, it's not that just like, oh, I just did this, like, for, at least for fast players as well, they're going to be like, oh my God, I just did this like a few hours ago. It's like just too short of a time. But one thing about Act 4 and the interlude, by the way, which I think is really cool, which is very different, and something, you don't really appreciate until you play, is you get to Act 4 and you're like, okay, where do I go? Well, I have many places I can pick. I mean, Jonathan was talking about how, their kind of interludes are kind of straight lines, but there's three of them.
But there's three of them. You can do them in any order.
There's a choice immediately there, right?
You can do those in any
Yep,
order.
you can do them in any
You
order.
can do them in any order. When you
Didn't know
complete
that.
when you complete one or partially complete one, it levels up the other two. They
Yeah.
always stay.
Yeah, it's a good
ahead.
point.
They
Yeah,
bridge the
Act
gaps.
4
You
with the
can do them in
interludes, it's
whatever
a lot of
It'll be
non-linearity.
interesting, to see the speedrunning strategies because like there's different
Yes.
bonuses available.
Like the spirit draft comes from one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where another might be more passive point heavy, and another might be more permanent bonus heavy, and another, like, there's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. So you go in Act 4 where you've got full freedom of like choice of which island you want to sail to, and then you go into the interlude and you're like, which part would serve me best? And maybe the answer is do a couple areas of this part and then swap to another and do that one, and then like who knows? Which is fine because again, as you progress through them and defeat the bosses, the other ones will level up and keep up with the level. So. You can do half of
I'm
each,
assuming
and
they're
then
gonna keep
do
the
half
same
of each
leveling
again. You
pace.
can do an area of each, and then
That's wild. I didn't realize the interludes were sandboxy like that because I was planning on asking about how the fact that Act 4 is like a sandbox for like the great portion of it there, and that's going to be super interesting from like racing and speedrunning perspective as to what people take. But also that does seem like it might help with the campaign slog, you know, the repetitiveness of it if you can kind of do things in a different order.
Well, I
each
think I
time.
got everything.
Is there
Daniel,
some good
I didn't
reasons
see
to
your
do it in different
fucking-
orders as well? Like you mentioned, like differences in rewards,
Your
differences
resub.
in challenges
I
too.
appreciate
imagine,
you,
for different
thank you.
builds.
Yeah, for
7
sure.
months.
So, like the
Holy
reward
fuck.
thing is probably the main reason you'd change the order, depending on
Yeah.
what's going to work best for your character right now. So, yeah, each one has got stuff that you know, like we're
Okay.
taking all the different fixed bonuses. I think that actually the fixed bonuses are different a little bit now, aren't they, than the way that they were?
Okay, I think I have got everything I need. I'm gonna do a quick little review on the VOD really fast, and then I think I'm going to go make this video really quick. Okay, so let's
And
do a
part-
quick VOD review. Let's make sure we got everything here. Settings, speed, 2x, of course. Okay, we got Act 5. Like bridge. There you go. No chat. We don't need the chat replay. Okay. Unveiling. Yeah, the abyssal. Okay. Act 4, multiple levels. Yeah, support changes. Did we win? We did win, PFJ. Like, I only found your channel because you upload 3M. God bless. Hell yeah. No, Roa didn't get buffed. Fuck you. Yeah, my original upload schedule was only at fucking way late, dude. Yeah, the trade one's huge. Asynchronous trade, this is a big one. Sprinting, endgame maps, endgame encounters, it's new pinnacle, the crafting changes, high tier currency, omens, essence, got all that. All classes buffed. Okay, so everything got buffed. So I should put that in. That's a good thing. Chonk still looks like dog shit. Oh, I already set that up there. That's exactly what I wrote up here. Interlude acts, whatever. Okay, good enough for me. Free weekend. This is Fuckapoo Island. Fuck. No one cares about the interludes. Yeah, I think Blood Mage got a huge buff. I think this is gonna be patched. The 0.3 is fucking League of the Blood Mage. Not to doom, but I don't fuck with the trade price fixing. Trade price fixing isn't gone. Why do you think price fixing isn't gone? Price fixing would have to be gone. Because theoretically, you have bots that price fix or whatever. You would have bots that snipe, right? So if, for example, you tried to price fix an item, I could see some ways where price fixing could still be a thing, but you'd run into like sniping bots, right? Like if you tried to price fix an item at 1 exalt, you theoretically have a bot that would just immediately teleport to your hideout and buy it, right? Yeah, I think you theoretically could price fix with auto selling if you could just like relist it over and over and over again, but I'm assuming like you would list it for 1 second, then drop it, relist it, right? People just aren't going to list in the new shop. Do they still have the old shop? I don't know if they have the old trade. Do they? Oh, they do? Oh. Yeah, and I think I would just not engage with the old trade system. No, you're good. I mean, we can go find out. I thought they got rid of it. Because when I was looking at the thing, I didn't see an option. Yeah, same. I'm not trading with anyone that isn't using the new shop. Like I'm literally gonna turn off all of those. We got all this Abyss. We covered Abyss. Yeah, Unveiling. Unveiling's Pog. Not on a map. I do not like Unveiling on a map, but whatever. Big against map unveils. Timeless Jewels. God tier. We love that. Yeah, the new Pinnacles. I think it's cool, right? I've nothing against Pinnacles. I like that they dropped the new supports. The map rework is actually God tier. I like the new access to bosses. We got all that. This is all good as fuck. The essence changes. All of that is just so good. It addresses a fundamental problem that was in the game, which is like you constantly rolled like ultra shit. Okay.
Through to using the website. These systems, in all their iterations, worked for a while, but with each iteration, new problems eventually reveal themselves. Be it requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can continue farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please, and can even be offline. With the introduction of King's March in Act 4, you will encounter Ange, assistant to Rog in the Meridian Free Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business. If you have a hideout unlocked already, you can immediately invite her there.
You might see some like price fixing shenanigans in this system, but I doubt that it will last for long.
If you don't have a hideout yet, you will need to acquire one. You can do this
I don't think there's any way it's going to be a thing.
Island in Act 4, allowing you then to take a slice of it for yourself.
Or I think they'll patch it.
And base of operations. Once invited to your hideout, she will now serve as operating your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire. So, how does this new system work? In the existing trade system, you would list items for sale in premium stash tabs. And then when someone wanted one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them. Now, instead of using those, you can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set. The prices are set using in-game currency items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it on the trade website. Once a desired item has been found, you can hit a button.
Okay. I don't know if you can dump tab the new shop.
Which will instantly teleport your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item. And while there, if you want, browse their other goods. In case there's a good deal someone else
browsing their shop.
You'll notice that as a buyer, on top...
The shop browsing mechanic? The reason why the browsing mechanic is actually so fucking good is because, like, if you have to buy, like, multiple unveils or multiple of the same item, for example, maps, right? And you're buying through, like, one guy and he has, like, 5, and you have to message him, hey, do you have 5? And you have to wait for him to respond. Need like fucking 3 minutes later, yeah, then you have to do the math. Like, the fact that you can just like browse the shop and just like buy everything that you want is actually like a 30 out of 10. That is such a good change. Yeah, I'm with PFJ. Like, if you're not using that, I am literally not buying anything that isn't through the merchant shop.
Top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold, and can also see an effect above Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency. Just go talk to her,
true.
claim your currency, and continue playing at your leisure. As many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system, we wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs, if you want. You can do that here, on the website. But
another point that I'll make is a lot of people talked about the currency exchange, but a lot of people had similar concerns with the currency exchange, so like people are gonna still list on the old website. People still do list on the old website, but I think like everyone uses the currency exchange. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about listing on the old website.
Only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the third.
It's one of those things where I just think the technological advantage is just no one is going to use. And the other thing too is like, you know, why would you buy from the trade website if you know it can be price fixed and you have to talk to someone and it's just aids in general when you can just force the other thing too is this stops people from like relisting items after you whisper them. It stops it. You cannot price fix in the actual shop itself. Like, dude,
the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not.
Okay, the two systems coexisting at the same time literally makes no sense. I agree, and I think it's them being safe.
In case there's a good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered. You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold, and can also see an effect of Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency. Just go talk to her, claim your currency, and continue playing at your leisure. As many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system, we wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs, if you want. You can do that here on the website, but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the third edict. To clarify, the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality. We just figured people.
Okay, so you still. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they just kind of want to be safe because some people, will go rabble about getting a new change in the trade system, right? And they'll be pissed off about that. But I think as it like slowly phases out, they'll probably move away from that trade system, which I think is fine. Like it's time to embrace the future. That shit needs to fucking go. And again, the vast majority of people, I doubt a lot of people will be using the old trade system. I think the trade shop is just going to take over. We also don't know how well it's going to work. If the shit crashes and burns, we wouldn't have a trade. Yes, that's another good point from PFJ. It's just to hedge your bets, right? It's a lot of bet hedging to make sure that like nothing goes wrong. As PFJ just said, if something happens, like you still have the old trade system, you still have functionality intact. They're not quite ready to like totally. And they also mentioned this too. They mentioned that this is experimental and they'll be looking for feedback. I think he says like right
switch
now.
over to this new system. We expect a lot of feedback around this new system and are looking forward to trying it out with you.
Yeah.
As we are not able to test internally with an entire thriving economy, there will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we'll be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so any of the tabs you purchase will also be usable there later.
Yep. Early day trading will work before you have a hideout. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you won't be able to trade till Act 4, which I actually don't hate. I don't hate the idea of not being able to trade until Act 4. Right? Until you get Angie, or whatever the fuck her name is. Or Annie, or whatever the hell. Not Faustus. I'm just going to call her not Faustus. Also, don't like the idea of buying new tabs. Well, yeah, so if you have old tabs, they can be converted to merchants tabs. I assume they I guess I don't really know. This is kind of a hard one. I assume new tabs you buy will be merchant tabs. Yeah, I don't know. You have to convert them on the website. You have to go to your account tabs. Yeah, Faustus. Yeah, Faustus. I like Faustus, dude. That's a good one. That's her name.
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do the tab thing. PoE is usually really good about things like this where like you may or may not want to convert. Like I think if you buy new tabs and you buy them for premium stash tabs and they decide that they're just going to the merchant shop system, they'll just auto convert everything for everyone. Like I don't think that they would like fuck people who bought tabs after 0.3 if they decide to move it wholly over to that system. But you'll probably have to buy two different types of tabs. If you want to have a premium stash tab to trade like a fucking Trog, and then the merchant shop tabs, you could probably buy two separate categories. What's that wallpaper? This is fucking Jesse McCree. Hello? This is the single sickest fucking character ever made in a video game. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, my sweet king. Fuck. Long gone. It was High Noon. High Noon's been long gone. I knew Mug was gonna get me on it. Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, now it's just he's this is in memoriam, okay? Draw, step right up, dude. Oh, holy fuck, I love this fucking character. I'll never forget. So, yeah, dude. Shit. I think one of these days I'll go back to Overwatch 2 just to relive the glory days. Rest in peace. Okay, I think we got everything. I think that's it. Never forgetty. Absolutely. Cole Cassidy. You been messing with Godot? Yeah, me and a buddy of mine, we started working on like a little side project. It's actually kind of sick. I didn't realize how much better it is. Like, so we're doing like all AI, and he's actually a programmer. And so which is really nice because he's been programming for a very long time. And he uses like this thing called Claude, which I haven't used Claude before. But he's like a premium, and we were going through all this stuff, and it built out all these files that we need to populate with like just like general writing and stuff. It's actually so sick. So like pretty much every night I'll spend like 2 to 3 hours just like sitting there just like writing out like basic, you have to go to like the core. It's like, what are your analysts, like what are your skills, what are this, what are that, and then we're gonna see how much you can do with AI, or how hardcore we could just AI code it, because that's kind of the we want to, if it's a thing, we want to try doing it because it sounds fun. But that's like a mini side project that'll probably be done. It'll probably be done by the time Heartbound's done. So I got at least like 15 years, or Heartbound will never be done, and we won't be done either. It's fine. But okay. I think we got everything. I think this is it. I have the list. Let's go to my documents here. Project folder. New folder. Video number 48.3. Okay. Can't use periods. Abyss, whatever, dude. Placeholder. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go full coder really quick. Placeholder _ name. There we go. Nice. That's sick. I like that. That was a good job. That was beast. Fuck you. New. All right. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Damn. And MIV is capitalized. Uh-oh. No, stop looking. That's what we have Claude for, Ricky, okay? That's what we have Claude for. Thank you. Yo, Claude, fix that shit. Okay? I fucked it up. All right, well, I'm gonna hop off. I have a video to make. I'm gonna go get that done really quick. And yeah, so what's the upcoming plan here? So when do they say the patch notes are going to be out? Let's actually figure that out first before we go. What time did they say? Was it today at 11 p.m.? Fuck, I should have paid more attention. No. Is it 4 p.m. today? Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's good. So let's take a look at the schedule here. So I'll do yeah, it sounds good to me. I'll figure it the fuck out, obviously. We'll do the we'll do the announcement video today. Thursday, if we have patch notes, I'll probably do a patch notes video on Thursday. Women's Equality Day, yeah, for sure. Yeah. They need that. Women aren't, definitely wildly overperforming in every category possible in the United States. They're definitely not popping the fuck off. So Wednesday today we'll do the reveal video. I'll get that done like right after this, and then Thursday we'll do the patch notes video. We'll probably do some theory crafting streams. I'll probably do some theory crafting streams for maybe like sometime this week, and I'll do some videos on my league start theory crafts, and then we're into the patch. So that'll probably be the schedule here. I do work Friday, Saturday, but I'll stream early Friday, Saturday morning. Top 3 favorite cocktails to drink or to make. Drink or to make. Both. To make, I love making a margarita because a margarita is literally like a 10-second drink. It's actually so unbelievably fast. An old fashioned is another one. I like making old fashions because it is also an unbelievably fast one to make. Yeah. Martini's a good one to add. I'm trying to think. Is there any other one that I would add? I think that's pretty much. Oh, honestly, so yeah, martini is a good one too. Like, especially like if you're just doing like a dirty martini. Yeah, it's probably margarita, old fashioned. I think I accept martini as the last one. I was thinking maybe like something that you like muddle, but like I prefer drinks that are fast, that just come out super quick, which is why to drink Marg, Tom Collins, rum and coke. I would do to drink. Well, I don't really drink cocktails. I mostly drink beer. But if I had to drink cocktails, I definitely prefer anything vodka. Like I'll sip Belvedere on the rocks if I really when I used to drink consistently, but I don't drink anymore. I haven't. Let's see. We're 6 weeks, dude. 6 weeks to the day. Actually, no, it's not true. Vodka cocktails are boring. Yeah, because vodka doesn't really have like you don't have to work that hard to make vodka work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm like 6 weeks and 3 days sober. Okay, not that I had a problem. I just don't drink anymore. I don't do any substance anymore. We're done with all of that. Okay, we take cold showers, go to the gym, and we diet hard as fuck. I'm literally down like 30 pounds too. I've been going hard. But to drink, probably. So I made this thing called a Huckleberry Spritzer, which was sick. It was like my favorite fucking drink of all time, which was a little bit of Huckleberry puree, 44 North, Huckleberry vodka, some Cointreau, a muddled orange, a muddled lemon, and then shake it really hard, and then you press it. So half Sprite, half soda water. That shit fucking slaps every time. It's really light. It's really light, but it'll get you fucking trashed. And it tastes super good. Love that fucking thing. Yeah, no, nothing. I zero. I went sober totally for fun. Actually, not for fun, but for discipline, because I need to stop being a giant pile of shit and get my life together. So I decided to skip all that. Yeah, the only thing I stopped vaping at work too, because all my coworkers were nicotine fiends and they would just give me fucking hella vapes and cigarettes. I stopped doing all that shit. Such a sugar and spirit kind of dude. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Let's drink Mai Tai, penicillin, last word. Okay, I remember last word. I don't remember penicillin. Mai Tai, I make Mai Tais all the time. I think probably the next one after that would be a... Honestly, I love a liquid marijuana. A liquid marijuana fucking slaps. I don't even like fucking Malibu at all, actually, but a liquid marijuana... A good liquid marijuana is good as fuck. And then whatever the blue curacao version is, it's like it goes in a hurricane glass. I can't remember what it's called. Ooh, actually, probably a black opal. I love me a black opal. But like not like the fucking trash. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, a black opal, dude. Oh my god. If I go to a bar and ask for these, will the bartender want to kill me? No. No, black opal is pretty standard. They probably won't. Well, it's not that standard, but they should know what it is. A liquid marijuana, it just depends if they have melon liqueur. If they have like Midori, they should be fine. And then, fucking a Huckleberry Spritzer, they won't even know what that is. Spritzers are generally going to be like in a wine glass, and it's generally going to involve champagne and bubbles. I call it a spritzer because it was very similar to an Aperol Spritz, how we made it at the bar that I worked at. We just don't use champagne, and you replace the champagne with Sprite. So you do instead of half soda, half champagne, it's half soda, half Sprite. But it has the same vibe. But they won't know how to make that. But you have to ask them if they make, and it also depends what bar you go to too. Because like some bartenders aren't really like at the bar I work at. It's definitely like craft cocktaily. These free drinks to make, espresso martini, yeah. Gin fizz. Ooh, gin fizz are trash. Yeah, Negronis aren't that bad, but honestly, I don't have, like, we ran out of Campari at my bar a long time ago, and every single Negroni person who I say I only have Aperol, they immediately fucking freak out. So it's good. I don't have to make those that much anymore. Least favorite to make? Yeah. Espresso martini's up there. We have a lot of craft cocktailing. And the craft cocktailing there are some drinks that are just absolute fucking space aids. Sangria of any fucking kind. I hate working with sangria because I just don't understand how to make it good. And yeah, gin fizz is actually a pretty terrible one too. Whiskey sour with an egg white because it always just fucks me right at the worst time. You don't make anymore. It was a horse something. I don't know. Yeah, everyone has different names for everything. Like we have like a strawberry basil smash, which like you could make. I'm not gonna lie, they're delicious. I figured you'd like a gin. Like given what you said, the spirit, the citrus, like it's kind of right up your alley. Spirit is tasteless. What's the fun in that? I just read the vodka thing. Yeah, but what's nice about vodka is that vodka works really well with everything. Like you can mix vodka with anything and it'll be fine. Whereas like whiskey is very resistant to a lot of things to a lot of like additive flavors and changes and that sort of thing. Whiskey will fight back with you on a lot of different stuff. Tequila somewhat will do the same thing, but and gin as well. But vodka will literally work with anything you pair it with, which is one of the reasons why it's nice. Also, like, dude, sipping Belvedere on rocks. Yeah. Yeah, whiskeys are good with like certain citruses, and like very minimal sweet. Tequila and lime is like a classic, that sort of thing. All right. It's time. I'm going to go get my video done. And then tomorrow I'll do the patch notes, and then we'll do some theory crafting streams. I'll post some videos on some different league start theory crafts for 0.3. And then we'll be live next weekend. Well, actually, we'll be live doing the theory craft streams anyway. So I don't know. That'll be sometime like before the patch. And then I do work Friday, Saturday, unfortunately. So I'll be on during the day. And then after these 2 days, I'll be ripping it. But all right, guys. It was fun. Need to open source update PoB? Yeah, absolutely. They got a lot of work to do. Yo, what up, Yonko? Good to see you again. I'll be back. We got some videos coming out. We got some streams coming. Thank you guys for all showing up, dude. I'll see you guys shortly.